because I'm a little bit, yeah.
Hello, Cleveland! Hello, Cleveland! Fuck you, Mr. Postman. Fuck off, good.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I have no idea what's going on.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Out on the Tiles number 3, a music rewind live stream. And this particular round, we have a special event to kick this one off. We've got a whole crop of past and future guests to try their hand at the Music Rewind Trivia Challenge. So for anyone that's watched our live streams before, you've got some familiar faces with Luke, Mike, Danny, and Al. Joining us this time, though, we have Doug from our Van Halen episode. We have Nicole from an upcoming Cranberries episode. This is the first time I'm seeing Nicole. We haven't recorded that one yet. And we have my beautiful wife, who will be doing a Less Than Jake episode. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream.
Howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Steve.
Hi there.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Amazing.
Do I say hello, everybody?
Hello,
My
everybody.
mouse died, which is wonderful timing. So that makes things difficult.
I got a spare. You want it? I got a Mac mouse.
Well, I got to get everybody in the trivia thing yet. So let's see. We've got we need Alan in there. All right, Alan, dropping it in the live chat that Luke just did. So go to that on your smartphone, and then once everyone's in, I will share that. Yes, Mike.
Do you have to be on your smartphone?
No, you can do it on your computer.
Oh, thank God. Because I'm tired. I feel like looking down the whole time.
You're the oldest person ever.
I might be older.
You flip it up.
I'm just saying, like, it's.
Do I have to put the HTTP //www dot?
Well, Mike, you are in there
Steve,
twice, by the way.
Well, this is my third one, so MB is what I'm playing with.
And tonight's
All right.
episode is brought to you by Drizzly.com.
White Claw.
Nice.
Beguile.
Still with
If
the
you're-
White Claw.
Sorry, it's across the street. So
Dasante
Water?
water. Yeah.
Going water tonight.
Drizzly's a sponsor, Michael. Get it right.
Drizzly, I delivered from.
No, just
Beguile
we
to
love
my house with
Drizzly. Drizzly is life.
Yes,
I
it's
was
awesome.
I
Yeah.
work for Drizzly. I'm a Drizzly deliverer.
Drizzly doesn't deliver.
Oh, good God.
Oh, shoot.
All right.
Al's struggling.
Okay.
I heard the struggling.
Yeah, what happened? I was in there. No, I'm not in there. Damn it.
These are all questions about the Eagles, correct, Steve?
Oh, my gosh.
All
I'm
right,
out.
well, let me,
Hotel California.
That would be Winslow, Arizona, would be the answer to that trivia question.
all right. The game's back unlocked, Alan. You should be able to join back in.
This is how you get all the viewers.
Oh, jeez.
That time and figuring out how to log in.
We're
Please
keeping them all
identify.
riveted
There we
to the
go.
action.
Everyone's excited for the trivia.
Welcome to Music Rewind IT Hour. We are your hosts. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Thank you.
When in doubt, reboot.
All right. Here we go. Are
Oh,
y'all
boy.
ready?
No.
Sure.
The faster you answer, the higher the points.
Are we supposed to see something on our phone right now or what?
No,
All I see is you. Okay.
Here we go.
Get
Start.
ready. Woo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
Pressure.
Who won the first MTV Video of the Year in 1989?
4.
Oh,
Oh man.
Oh, my phone is so delayed.
So is mine.
You guys were
That's why I went
fast
online.
on the trigger there.
I've
Damn.
got the year-end screen.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we got some technical difficulties then.
Well, that's why I asked and I put it on a second monitor. So you guys think that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to computers? So
I hammered that one quick. That was kind of an easy one.
All right, so
I'm in 10th place, tied with Alan, is what it says. Time's up.
Wow. That's
Yes.
not possible. Let's see.
yeah, a bunch of winners. We're all
Yay!
great start, everyone.
I would have never thought it was the Cars.
wow, like nobody got that? How'd that?
No, I would have never thought that.
I thought that. Oh, okay.
What? I thought it was.
Well,
Michael Jackson.
it was. You might think, yeah.
Yeah, I would have never thought that.
I have to be honest, and I didn't even get the answer.
Yeah, that's all right.
So we
Extra time.
all.
That happens. So.
All right, all this music knowledge. Wasted.
Yeah, it threw it right out the window. You
I
know
didn't
what?
even have
Michael Jackson-
MTV.
Well, Thriller, that would have been what, 82? So yeah, 84 wouldn't have been. So I definitely was wrong.
All right, we'll go on to the next one. We'll see if everybody gets a chance this time.
Okay.
Who is a founding member of Pink Floyd from start to finish? Roger Waters, Dick Mason, David Gilmour, Richard Wright.
Definitely not him. Oh,
Someone got it.
I got it.
Nick Mason.
Oh,
I thought Roger
no
Waters was
kidding.
there.
That's what I.
Everyone else either joined late or was kicked out at some point.
Yep, that's right. Yep. This is it.
There we go.
I look back and go, well, that was a stupid answer.
Alan's at the top of the leaderboard.
Really?
How did you know this, Al?
It was a guess. I just figured it was too easy to be anybody, but
Well,
Yeah.
Roger Waters was on the first record, so
I went with Roger as well.
Roger Waters left in 1983.
Yeah.
Ah,
start
Yeah.
to finish.
oh, that's
That's
where they
what-
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The end. Yeah.
And Rick Wright was actually fired during the wall
Yeah,
and then rehired back.
that's where I screwed up. Yeah.
You guys didn't do research papers on Pink Floyd in high school?
No, I know. Sid
I actually
Barrett,
did. I just
Come on.
totally forgot that.
You know.
All right,
did
question
find
number
something.
3. Who is Gordon
Oh,
Sumner?
that's easy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Gordo.
Wow, y'all
Okay.
jumped right on that one. Sting is the right answer for those listening to the audio version of this particular show.
Darn it. I just watched Quadrophenia again, and it was listed as Sting on that. I didn't.
Oh, yeah, okay, I forgot Sting's in that. That's right.
Yeah.
had a
He's
clip
the
from
face,
that in the
man.
intro, right?
He was the waiter. Yeah.
He's
He
the
was
face.
the waiter.
The face.
That face. Yeah. Yep.
Ace face. That's it. He was the ace face.
hmm
All right. Ready to go on next one?
Yep.
Yep. Let's see.
What song had the longest run at number 1 on the Hot 100 in 1992?
92. Oh my gosh. Who cared about music in 92?
Everyone.
No one.
Oh, right. I was going to go with that too.
Boys to Men, End of the Road.
dang it.
Real? That's surprising. I mean, Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" was such a
Hey, can you play a sample of that? Because I don't even know that song.
I
End
did
of
not
the
have
road?
a sample of that ready.
Oh, what you didn't awkwardly try to dance with the girl in
Dude.
the Y?
Sing it,
And,
sing it, Mike. I don't know it either. I want to
No,
hear.
God,
I want to
no.
hear it.
No.
Did we lose Danny?
In 92, I was already working.
Yeah.
That was
Real
like
job.
that came out, and we were in grade school, and man, every Y dance or the Prue.
I want Danny and Mike to do like a duet here.
Yeah.
With
I
harmony.
mean, if you could keep your elbows straight and up near a woman's rib,
Yeah.
young lady's rib cage, you could dance to that song.
5 feet away. You have to have
Well,
Jesus.
when I created this particular questionnaire, these were the top 4 songs of that year.
Wow. Prue Washington video dance, Steve. You ever?
So nobody got that right.
Oh yeah,
correct?
yeah, I remember those. Absolutely.
Who got that one right? Anybody?
Nobody got that right.
Nobody.
No,
Nobody.
I
didn't.
man, I thought it was Whitney Houston 100%.
So did I. Obviously.
Yeah, that was awesome.
No change to the leaderboard. Who released the most studio albums?
Oh,
Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, Britney Spears, or Christina Aguilera?
Wow.
Debbie Gibson.
Really?
Are you kidding me? Oh my god!
No.
Yeah, I thought she was.
She's got-
another
She's got like
splashing
one more
fan.
than Britney, I think it was. I should
And
Oh.
by the way, Steve, she prefers Deb.
She does. Yes. Because I got this one.
I thought it was
What are you,
Ross.
your publicist? What's going on here?
I mean, get the shit right, guys.
I'll act like I know who she is because I got it correct.
Oh.
Wait,
You don't know who
Danny,
she is?
he just missed out on Debbie Gibson and like Tiffany. He was like too young for it, I think.
Probably.
No.
Really, Luke?
Luke, do you have an older brother or sister?
I've got a younger sister.
Oh, Luke jumps
Oh,
to the
that's
top
why.
with that one.
Whoa! Nicole,
why.
we gotta pick up our game.
Thanks, Deb.
Come on. Can Nicole and I combine our scores? Take off.
So we got Luke on top, then Alan,
Group effort.
Mike,
Where's
Danny,
Doug?
Nicole.
I'm in 7th.
Hey,
I guess
Steve,
it only shows the top 4.
questions about real
I
music.
really thought Debbie Gibson was like
Hey,
a.
I warned you this was going to be
Flashing
all
fan.
over the place.
I'm not mad about it. I'm learning.
We've
So I
got no
learned this
metal
for
questions
trivia
so
nights
far.
later in life.
Crazy.
All right, question 6. Who was the drummer for the Jimi Hendrix Experience?
Oh my god!
Come on.
Come on, everybody should get this. Everybody should get this.
Everybody?
Paching.
Paul Rudd?
Sweetheart, you're doing great. Don't worry.
Is that Paul Rudd? Oh, Phil Rudd.
That's AC/DC.
I thought maybe it was Paul Rudd.
Filthy Phil.
Well, I wanted to put real drummers in there. So
I know. Well, I you know.
You know what? I did read that.
Ant-Man tie-in
Paul Rudd.
is coming out.
Mac and me.
Back with me.
I got a clip of the new Ant-Man movie.
All right. Alan's back up on top. Nicely done. All right, let's keep going. Who wrote Respect from Aretha Franklin?
Oh,
Fuck. I knew
knew
it.
Otis Redding.
Damn it.
I knew it.
Because that was his song for. I couldn't remember between him or Sam Cooke.
That's exactly what I did. God damn it.
Who got it right?
I want to make sure I get that E on that the podcast. I'm going to say motherfucker so I could have that on.
Michelle's up in the top 5. You must have got that one
way
right.
to go, Michelle.
Yeah.
Only took 7 questions.
Keeping it going. Number 8. Ian Hunter was the lead singer of which band? Couple got
Honestly,
it
the song helped me out because I was kind of my brain.
Lana
was broke
Hoople,
for it,
yeah.
but-
I put that question in there just to use that clip. I love that version.
No, they didn't write the song. Did
Hoople is
David
the
Bowie
answer.
write the song?
Bowie
Yeah.
wrote it. for
Yeah,
Bowie
Bowie
And
wrote
Bowie
that.
was singing on that version is from the Freddie Mercury tribute concert with David Bowie singing with him
Oh.
and the lead
Well, he
singer.
sings a
Duff-
backup in the actual song, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the clips are actually.
I'm asking the
helping us,
question
is
for people who like maybe.
The clips may be helpful or they may be completely wrong.
that- Okay.
I don't like this
For
at
back
all.
with the Sting question, I used that opportunity to have Prince playing "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" because that's just a fantastic clip itself.
Or
Gotcha.
that you had Sid Barrett in there for.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd.
Yep.
Jug Band Blues is just a great song, though.
I love Sid. I
Helen
love
has a
Sid Barrett,
streak
Pink Floyd.
going on.
Alan's crushing it.
It's on fire.
Needs more Debbie Gibson questions.
Hey, once you
Yeah,
put a
keep-
Taylor Swift question
Hey,
up
keep-
here, he's done.
If there's any
Well,
90s
I'll-
or 2000 questions, I'm out.
I'll crush a Taylor Swift question.
Top selling movie soundtrack of all time.
Oh my gosh.
I would have said the Blues Brothers.
No. I would have said the Big Chill, but that was before the advent of
And that was before the Bodyguard. though.
CDs. And,
Bodyguard just crushed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dolly Parton's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
How old is Dolly Parton?
How young is she? Is what you want to ask.
Yeah. 70 something. I'm not
Well,
sure.
how old are her parts? Because like her face, it's probably like 25.
Yeah.
Her eyebrows
Oh,
are
leave it to
19.
Mike when we talk about an iconic woman
Yeah.
body. Cool, dude.
Dude,
She has a
we all
beautiful
know that-
soul,
Cool,
man.
dude.
She's not a Buick. She's
Right?
a person.
She is, but she has
One
parts
piece at a
on her
time.
that are younger than her.
My
like
mom-
her face
Not a
is like a
Buick.
Skeletor.
My
No,
mom named her
That
chihuahua
is
after
the
Dolly Parton.
description for the episode. She's not a Buick.
She's not a Buick.
Brilliant.
My mom named her chihuahua Dolly after Dolly Parton, and then she got another chihuahua and named it Miley.
Oh, yeah.
Who is Dolly's
That's her
wife.
Dolly's
That's your
goddaughter.
godmother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have
Did not
a
know that.
I would have a heart to heart with her if I was the godmother.
Dolly's
let's see.
Things like a goat.
With all the stuff, yeah.
Oh,
Studio albums from Pearl Jam.
Jeez.
I know this one, but my screen is frozen.
those
Oh,
mine.
sure. Yeah.
Sure
Those
it
mine.
is.
Seriously.
Sure it
Hey.
is.
Hey, my screen is frozen.
No,
Oh.
mine is too. I can't answer.
Mike got in there with the right answer. I wanted to ridicule him.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think I was gonna get that wrong, Steve?
I was hoping you
The
were.
tricky part, if you would have put 10 on there, because that would throw you off, because the first album is 10.
The tricky part would have been how many quality Pearl Jam albums are there.
Oh, Alan, let's go.
And the answer,
Cancel the
the answer is
quiz.
The answer is the
nine.
first one.
Is
4.
nine. Nine.
The answer's 11.
4.
I got
Actually,
this
no,
answer
eight.
from
The answer is whatever
Wikipedia.
you want it to
Don't
be, man.
argue with
Music is
Wikipedia, Lou.
subjective, man.
I actually have all 11 on cassette up there.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
the answer to Al's question, the good albums, 8.
Okay.
They're, the music is
We
subjective,
talk about
man.
that
I
for the
think
next-
all 11 are good.
Can we
Let's
talk
do
about
it.
that?
We can. Let's talk about this. Why is
15 hours.
Backspacer, Lightning Bolt, and Gigaton so horrible?
Oh,
man.
And go.
Because
Unbelievable.
You saw those songs live. I don't know.
it's all in that exact same.
I did get more respect for
Just because
Gigaton.
you're tired of the formula doesn't mean they're not good.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
This is all opinion, right?
Yeah, you want
It's
to talk
subjective,
formula?
man.
Talk
It's music.
AC/DC.
Yeah, but I like AC/DC and every one of their albums, even the ones that people don't know about or seem to
Wait, do they have
wanna
a song
forget.
that's not about like balls?
No.
Killing
Oh,
women?
Well, I sit there and go,
I'm with Doug. I
I
am
go-
an AC/DC.
I got no beef with
love
AC/DC.
it.
I just was curious.
yeah, they sing the same song over and over again, but it's a song I like, so
Yeah,
I
yes.
give them a
Greatest rhythm guitar player of all time.
No. That's James Hetfield. Best downstroke of all
Pete,
time.
Pete
But I
Townsend.
will say AC is very much like Motorhead, where it's
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
similar song. It's the same song, but if you like that song,
Love Motorhead.
Motorhead all the way. Love it.
Yep.
yes.
I can firmly say that there are no Motorhead questions. I'm sorry.
No, man.
Darn it.
Son of a
Doug, you would have cleaned up on that.
Yep.
That's all I've been studying, though, is Motorhead.
Straight to the top.
Well, it's a valid subject to study.
Questions, Steve?
What's that?
Any ACDC questions?
Maybe.
Well,
Don't give it
we
away.
had-
Don't give it away, Steve.
Don't
We
give it
had
away.
Phil Rudd. We had Phil Rudd on that one, but
Well, who was not a member of the Yardbirds?
Ooh. Looks like that was fairly easy for everybody.
Oh,
He was a member of the worst
Couple of
swimming team,
misguesses.
though. Too soon.
Brian Jones was the incorrect answer. So
Yeah, he was one of
not
the
a
worst
member.
swimmers
Yeah.
of all time.
Speaking of that, did you hear that the Stones are going to have 4 or 5 new songs and they're going to tour again?
What?
No.
God bless them.
For them
In
now.
wheelchairs?
Do they have
I just heard it today. Just heard it today.
or
well, I
permanent
saw
drummer?
somebody. I know somebody that went to one of their concerts just this last summer, and they said, "Man, they were still great." You know, still
Mick is
dancing
still
around.
Yeah,
and
Mick
stuff.
is still jumping around on stage. It's insane. He's in better shape than anyone on this podcast.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I
Is
can argue that.
is saying a whole lot?
Be winded after the first song, you know.
Who's drumming
All right.
for them? Do they have a permanent drummer?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
My mom had him on television a couple weekends ago when I made dinner for her.
Well, I saw a meme
it
where
was-
Ringo
it was-
Starr doesn't have a band and Paul McCartney, bass player, so they could fit right into the.
Oh, could you
Rolling
imagine?
Stones.
Like a
Oh, my
Beatles
That would be.
Stones tour? That ticket would cost $1 billion.
Yeah.
That could sound terrible and still make billions. Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't the guy from the Expensive Winos, Keith Richards' band, wasn't he the drummer on the last tour for the Stones?
Not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought he was. Maybe that's who they're going to have.
Are we ready to keep going?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
All right.
do it.
Which artist opened Woodstock?
Oh,
Oh my gosh. My phone just went dead. Come on.
Not the worst singer of all time.
I like Joe Cocker.
I love great cover.
My
Cover
opinion,
guy.
man.
Karaoke guy.
Songs.
Richie Havens.
I made a living just being a Beatles cover artist.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a karaoke singer.
But a good one.
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
He's better than me.
the white guy with the blues voice.
So who sang that song better, Ringo Starr
Joe
Oh.
Cocker.
or Joe Cocker?
I'm
I
going to say
like
Joe
Ringo-
Cocker.
I don't
with
like
more
Joe
passion.
Cocker, so Ringo
Yeah,
Starr
I
always.
I know. I kind of liked Ringo Starr's, but yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Joe Cocker. I did
There's
I like
passion
when,
there. Though. Look at this. He's singing that from his heart.
Yeah.
when John Belushi.
And a lot of
That was funny.
John Belushi did it the best. That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sat right next to him. Yeah.
Can we just
Yeah.
talk about the fact that a young Joe Cocker, good-looking gentleman right there?
Look at those chops.
Yeah.
They
Anyone who
definitely
can
have
grow
chops.
chops like that is good in my book.
All right.
Nicole.
Ooh,
back in the
Nicole.
leaderboard.
I'm just wild guessing aloud.
Nice.
So
Nicole is the largest Joe Cocker fan in the world. He's just not telling anyone.
I liked his version of the letter song. My baby wrote me a letter.
Again,
Yeah.
didn't write his
Yeah.
own song. He's
Well,
a cover.
in
The guy's a fucking cover singer.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
who
karaoke.
doesn't care?
MTV
Who
played
doesn't care? Nicole, because she's
MTV played
president of her fan
videos.
club.
Hey, one of Pearl Jam's best song is Last Kiss.
Oh, fuck that song. And
Oh,
didn't he
fuck you.
sing the
Come
song?
on. You shitting me?
Didn't he do a cover of "Bye Bye Blackbird"? And it sounds amazing.
Well, what was the one that he did on
I think I remember
MTV?
that.
Had the video of him singing like on a stage in a bar. I can't remember.
Oh, Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
MTV.
Oh, I remember that video.
Something
That's
about a
what
hat.
he's
Take your hat
Yeah, take
off.
your clothes off.
Leave your hat on.
Yeah.
Something
Again.
like that.
Isn't
Yeah,
that, Toby
that-
Keith's whole career?
That's the one. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Oh.
But you
All
can
right.
leave your hat on.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
that's the song.
I don't know that one.
That might be the worst
Keep
song. of
off,
all
but
time.
leave your hat on.
Top 10.
I might know if I heard it, but it doesn't ring a
Yeah,
bell.
I'm sure it was
Yeah, it-
big on bass. Steve.
Actually, that song was actually pretty. I liked it better because he wasn't, giving it his all like you said during the, how he
He's
actually
an older
sang that,
singer.
So, yeah, more.
All right, well, we'll move on to question number 13 here before we dive down the Joe Cocker rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Well, we ain't got time.
it's a hole we don't want to go on.
I could have a whole podcast about that alone.
Oh, Jesus. Who was the youngest Beatle?
Is that Hey Bulldog?
Yeah.
Great song.
That's my favorite Beatles.
Magical Mystery Tour.
My favorite Beatles song.
Same here. Same here.
Ringo Starr is actually
Yeah.
the oldest.
If you wait and don't answer till the very end, you get to hear the whole clip.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
But then you get lower points. So
I thought the whole
had
point was to get as much
three
points as
apps and get on 2 different streaming services in order to participate. Good golly.
and we're glad you're here.
Ugh. I will say, Hey Bulldog,
Yeah, it's
my favorite Beatles song and very underrated Beatles
Yes,
song.
I agree.
So is Old
You don't
Brown
hear it
Shoe.
enough.
I
Honestly,
dig
that
that one
whole-
as well.
the whole
Which one,
Magical
Luke?
Mystery Tour is underrated.
Old Brown Shoe.
Oh, great song.
Yeah.
it's great.
Yep.
First time I ever heard it was on the blue disc,
I
like the
think that's
blue
that's where I heard
CD.
it as well. Yep.
67 to 70
Steve,
best stuff.
Steve, there's about 7 questions left. Are we going to start talking about like Olivia Rodrigo and
And Tay Tay.
people that
Danny's
I
I only
You
know
know, there
who
has-
Olivia-
Danny, you know that there's a Taylor Swift question on here. You
I,
know
really
I
that.
only know
I
that
would get it
Olivia
right.
Rodrigo exists because she came up in the Lord melodrama
That record's
episode
really
I
good.
just recorded. So
I think that record's really good. Was that
Olivia
last year?
Rodrigo record?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the girl, she's really talented. That's
It's
Never
surprising.
song
thought
like
that
that.
is.
I'm not throwing shade at any of those. Yeah.
I don't think there's any Olivia Rodrigo questions here, though.
If there's Taylor Swift questions, I will get it right.
there's got to
Somebody,
be
Taylor
somebody
Swift
play me a
questions.
song. I
Yeah.
don't know who that
Nightly.
is.
The rest
Al
of
will
them
get it
are
right.
all Eagles. The rest of the questions are all Eagles.
Oh shit!
Oh, fuck.
And actually, Danny's next episode is going to be Midnights, correct? We discussed this.
Just to blow up the internet.
Yep. We got
Middle-aged
just to blow up the internet. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. middle-aged dad talks about Taylor Swift.
The
real
entire
question is,
rest of
Danny-
season 3 is going to be Danny talking track by track, 1 hour per track of all Midnights.
And
That'll-
Steve, think about this though. You could be sponsored by Capital One because she's in all the commercials.
There you
So,
go.
Oh.
That's a lot of money coming in with Capital One.
And I mean, her beats are very much early In Excess, early The Cure, New Order. I'm
Not
in.
winning me over yet.
That's my
I was like,
sweet
I like
spot.
all that stuff,
That's
Danny,
my
but I
sweet
just
spot.
don't like
That's
her.
my sweet spot.
It's only a matter of time before my daughter finds out that exists.
Hey, I'm very happy that my daughter likes Taylor Swift and not some other things that are out there. That's all.
My daughter did like Green Light from Lord, though. She was singing that one.
There
That
we
was a
go.
jam.
All right.
That's
All right.
fucking great.
Which of these is not a Billy Joel album?
Fuck.
Got a couple of you on that one.
I just don't know Billy Joel that well.
Who does?
All you need to
it?
know is that The Stranger is one of the best albums of all time.
I know The Stranger for 100% was like an album. Knew
When
it.
when it came out, I was at a record store, and my dad went, and he was wanting to get Waylon and Willie record, and my dad asked the guy while he's unpacking all these boxes of the Stranger album, and they are literally getting picked up as fast as that guy could get him out of the box. And my dad asks about the country and western album, and the guy's like, "Oh, I don't even know." And my dad's like, "What? You don't know? Waylon Jennings or Willie Nelson?" My dad was, and the guy turned around and said, "This is what's selling," And the guy had 3 boxes that sold in the 5 minutes that we were there. I mean, that's how fast that album was selling out of that record store. It was crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I never
That's
seen anything
awesome.
like it.
For those listening at home, the answer was New York State of Mind. It was not a Billy Joel album. So
Song, but not an album.
Is this
Right.
one going to be a podcast?
all of these, I release them back onto the feed on Monday.
This one's not going to be very exciting if they can't.
It was like 7 in a row. I was going for 7 in a row right there.
I feel like this is more of a visual one.
Oh crap! My phone decided to restart. I don't know what the heck.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine
no.
did too. Steve, if you could edit
Stall.
all of this out, but if you can give us the pin.
This is the part that's good.
You do know what live means, right?
yeah.
It's live stream.
311675.
3.
I think it's 8675.
3161175.
Wait, what is it? I'm sorry.
316-1175.
Thank you all.
And all of our live listeners are going to log on and play along, right?
Yeah.
And who hasn't tried to call Jenny?
I have not.
All right,
What-
let me know when you guys
How
are
do I
back
watch
in.
this?
I was gonna say I don't know what the heck my phone is doing here.
What's the area code for Jenny?
Let's see. I'm gonna get my granddaughter my tech support.
I would guess Jenny would be on the East Coast because
I think I'm out, Steve. It keeps telling me that it's now locked.
Is it? That's what all I'm getting is.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Oh, he
There you
just
go.
unlocked it.
He unlocked.
I unlocked it.
All right, let them all in. All the listeners.
In 5, 4,
Right.
3,
So- okay, let's see. It's
You can't come back in 6 questions anyways. It's impossible.
Who is
Math doesn't
Music
work.
Rewind Sucks 8924?
Well,
I think that's my wife. She was like, I really wanted to play this. But I wanted to watch.
Your wife who wants you to go spend time with her.
I had to enter under a new name because my name was already taken.
Yeah, no, that's what happened to me. That's why I'm MB and not. I was Mike B.
So, Danny, you said you have tried to call Jenny. What is her area code?
Well, I have not.
let's see.
Growing up, I always thought it was 815.
Yeah, just assume it's 815. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
No, I just think wherever Tommy Two Tone's from, that's got to be the East Coast, ain't it?
How old is she now, though? That's a big.
Oh, she's probably in
She's
her
older than my
50s.
mother.
Yeah.
it's like 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
You know that
It's the area-
I don't want to call Jenny anymore.
you know that she was actually a real girl, and that was actually her real number.
I did not.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I'm back on.
And her
My
they
tech
had to
support
change
got
the
me
number
all back
because
on.
people
So
kept calling it.
okay,
That's
I'm back
She's
on,
down at
guys.
the Villages now.
Yeah.
no.
All right, we ready?
I don't think I can catch Alan. I think this is.
And Alan's running away with it at this point.
Yeah, he is.
I
We
think
need some questions like anything after like 1995 for him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
How
or
many
rap.
albums has
Oh, there you go.
released?
Yeah.
What are these questions?
Yeah, here you go. Perfect.
Hey, Clarissa, it's not doing anything.
Oh, I got it right.
Dang it.
There's more. There was more than 3.
Here's where Al goes down.
Who the fuck?
I'm
How
coming
did
back.
somebody know that there were 6?
That was a total guess. I got it right.
You got it right.
I
Damn.
did. That was a
I
total
thought
guess.
I was taking this back.
I had no clue. I
Dang.
Who played bass on Dance of the Clairvoyants on the new Pearl Jam record?
Was that more albums than he released while he was alive, or does anybody know that?
Yeah, I think so.
It might
Stone
be.
Bastard, right?
It might be.
Didn't Stone play
He
bass?
had 6 of them. Are you shitting me? I would have never guessed that in a million years.
My
Well,
phone
I guess
locked
out
up
of 4, I
again,
would have
so
guessed
I-
it.
here's the pin number. 3
If the next 5 questions are
All right,
cranberry
I feel like I'm.
Oh, It
I
shows
unlocked
that
it, Doug.
You
Doug,
unlocked
I
it?
unlocked
Okay. Okay, buddy. So let me do this.
I already feel like I'm Cal Norton Jr. Not Ron Silver. This is how it's gonna hang out.
Well, you got to maintain to keep.
Who was the original bass player in The Cure? I can answer that. What are these questions?
Well, so we should
Told
each
you.
come on and have make our own questions.
Yes.
Thank you, Al.
This is going by much more quickly than we anticipated. So maybe we
Yeah,
can
it is.
get in there.
It is. Yeah.
Oh my God! My mom just texted me. She goes, "What is this broadcast you guys are on?"
It says my
Hey, by the way, there's Chicago Mike coming out. My mom just
No, that was my mom. That's Jewish. That's Jewish mom coming in.
It says
Michael,
my
what the hell is this?
My nickname was taken. I don't know what the heck.
Well,
Yeah, you got to change it.
Just put a 1 behind it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
This will be a wonderful audio version. This is gonna be great.
Exactly.
Steve, burn these tapes.
Edit this part out.
That's why we need
Yes.
Mike and Danny to do their duet of Boys to Men. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody's waiting for.
It is.
Okay.
Now that is
Keyword
that's
there.
Chicago
I will-
Mike right there.
I will say this: there is a Guns N' Roses question remaining.
Yes.
Oh, good. I might have
Steve
a chance
Adler.
there.
He was a drummer, first one.
Even though you're so far behind now.
Are you got? Is everybody back in the game?
It says that you'll be able to
It
join
might be on a
soon.
different name.
So far behind like Candlebox?
Left me far behind.
All right. Well, we'll keep going here.
Yeah, keep going. It says get ready. You're ready to go. Here we go.
Didn't mean to treat
Who released the
you
album called "Still
unfair.
Sucks" in 2021?
Are you sure?
All of these bands should have released that. That's
All four of them. Is the answer all four?
Oh,
Is this real? Was that a real
Yes,
question?
it is
That's real.
absolutely
They
real.
really had an album out?
Holy cow.
It is absolutely
That's
real.
great.
hey,
And that is
I
actually
like
the name.
Creed. I like Creed. It was one of the best concerts I had ever seen in.
no.
okay,
no.
Doug, do
No.
yourself a favor.
Yes.
I want to hear
your
about this.
computer
I want to
in the
hear about this
garbage.
amazing
With
Creed
12
concert.
Stone, the 12 Stones opened up, which ended up being Evanescence. They got the woman singer, took the
Yeah.
place of the dude. So it was Evanescence, and then the guitar player from Alice in Chains. They had a new
Jerry
singer.
Cantrell.
Yes, Cantrell. But that was all. And I have seen Kiss a few times and Van
No.
Halen, but I'll tell you
No.
what, Creed really did have a good.
No.
No,
Nice.
There's no
Nice.
way.
Yes,
There's no way.
yes,
Unless
way.
Jesus Christ came down and sang with them and played the drums. There's no way.
It really was. Their stage show was good, and they had so
Well, they
many
played a
songs that
state
I didn't
fair?
really.
That's shocking. I can't believe that they're
Come on, is there anyone on here, honestly, that would agree with Doug, who's a Creed fan or could
I was at that show and I don't agree with
Alan?
him.
You weren't at that show. I
He doesn't agree.
just my brother David and two of my cousins were there that time.
Well, which was the one we saw then?
No, I didn't.
We saw him another
Creed with
time?
you. No, I didn't see Creed with you. I saw Kiss with you.
I got a concert ticket right over there. I got off to
It
go
was-
look when I get done.
I was on the grass, right.
You were
before-
on a lot of
Yeah,
grass.
yeah.
I was
That's
glad
good.
I thought they sounded
You know,
good, Doug.
keep that in. Because it's an outdoor show, but part of it is under an awning, and we had like.
Was it at the Mark in the Quad Cities?
No, it was down in St. Louis. I'm trying to remember what that one's called.
Y'all
but-
still talking about Creed?
Oh, this sounds
Yeah.
I want to hear what
Evan,
Al's Creed.
Saint
And
Louis
Evanescence
Creed.
was really good too. I mean, it was a good
I don't
concert.
mind. Amy Lee can sing the phone book to me, so I'm all
Yeah.
about her. But
Yeah, she could belt.
This is the
But,
worst.
Al, let's hear about your Creed experience now that we've heard Doug's.
no,
Let's-
why do we keep talking about Creed?
No,
I remember right.
Lonnie is an
Michael.
awesome guitar player.
Let's listen to Al's experience about Creed.
I want to hear it.
I'm pretty sure I won the tickets, so that helped. But it was just,
Made
it
it
was
You were
just
the tallest
okay.
guy in the room, and they just
It's
handed
okay.
him to you.
But yeah, did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was all right.
See, I said this last.
Did they have the fireballs
There we are.
flying out of the
Hey, Rick.
stage and all
Hey.
that stuff?
Jeez,
the
I don't remember
pyrotechnics
that.
and everything. That
I
their-
don't remember that.
Yeah, their stage show, and then they had the screens behind them. But man, they
Hey,
were
Rick.
Piggy.
Oh, hey, Rick. You
Rick, they're talking about how good Creed is. So
Oh,
I'm
God.
curious to see what your thought is.
Oh, wow. I have some words for that. And the first word is no.
You don't like Alter Bridge? You don't like? I mean, you can get rid of Staff if you don't like his singing. But
No, you can get rid of all
Ronnie's
of them.
awesome
Like
guitar
all off
player.
a cliff. Whoop.
There's nothing wrong with Creed. Creed gets a bad rap for no reason. It's
Lou,
Miles,
you are delusional. They're the
Oh,
worst
wow.
band.
What about
I'm not
what
saying
about
I'm a
Miles
diehard.
Kennedy as the singer? Of Creed.
Is that all?
Of Alter Bridge. I mean, the
Miles
rest of the
Kennedy
band's
has a
Creed.
really good voice, and Miles Kennedy has gone on to front a lot of tribute band. Like he's
Well, yeah, he's
Slash,
playing with Slash.
really, really talented guy. But come on, man.
Yeah,
No.
Those bands
We
are
can't.
not good.
There's half of this podcast. There's no way we would ever agree with Creed.
No,
There's
we're-
just no way.
Yeah.
Well,
Creed-
it's just like the Cure. I don't care for the Cure, but
Oh.
give me the Colts. I like the Colt. You know.
You can't wait. Did you just equate Creed with the Cure?
Yeah.
No.
Here comes.
Did you
Correct.
think that
That's
you think
problematic.
Steve, you got 4 questions
Right.
left. There's no way they're gonna get done.
is better than
Our
Creed?
fans in the comments section are loving the Creed conversation here, especially
Awesome.
Mike's wife.
Oh yeah, but my mom too. She goes, "Who the hell are these guys? He loves Creed? What the fuck?"
Creed is
And-
what Toby Keith fans listen to if they want to listen to rock.
Oh,
Good analogy. I would say, and even Pearl Jam fans like Mr. Borowski
Whoa,
over there,
hey, whoa!
Creed took
Come on.
everything that's not good about Pearl Jam and amplified it like times a million. And
1,000%.
yes,
They made all
So
like
there was
the
a lot to take. Yeah.
shit on 10.
Yeah,
Like-
so if that was the case, there would be 10 Creed albums. But
Well,
Well,
Rick,
the reason
Rick,
that is
hold on.
because-
Rick, the previous question was
nuts.
who released an album called "Still Sucks" in 2021,
yeah.
and it was
I said
the-
Nickelback.
Nickelback,
And it was-
Marilyn Manson,
As did
Creed,
I.
or Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Oh God,
It
that's really tough. I was Limp Bizkit.
It was.
it was Limp
It was,
Bizkit.
and we got that right, but then we started
And you know
off on
why?
the Creed.
'Cause
We're like,
Creed
who the fuck
Creed.
talking about Creed?
They all still suck, but only one of them had a lead singer who was threatened by Eddie Van Halen with a gun. So
Who was that?
Fred Durst.
Yeah.
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 Really?
Did he say it was because he had one of his amps or something like that?
No, it's because he wanted to work with them, and he
Oh.
publicly said like, hey, I'm gonna ask Eddie if he wants to work with me, and he showed up at Durst's house with a gun and is like, don't you dare go. Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
my name out of your
Well,
mouth.
and let's not get political here, but Fred kind of started the whole Red Hat campaign 25
Yeah.
years ago. I ain't saying. I'm just saying.
So maybe
So,
that was his PTSD from being threatened by Eddie.
I heard it was just he did it for the nookie, and that's why he wore
That's what I heard as well.
the hat.
Then
So.
somebody needs to take that cookie.
That's a good joke. I'm not mad about that joke at all.
That was a good one.
Brilliant.
So, by the way, Michelle had to bow out. There was a kid awake upstairs, so
Oh,
she took one for the team.
Oh, Jesus.
I was just rinsing out some poopy underwear, so
Yeah, that's
well,
I'm
Rick, you couldn't make it to the bathroom before you got home. Or?
You got to be more careful, man.
I got 2 words: NyQuil. That puts the kids. Just kidding.
yeah.
Very brave of you to admit on a live podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it home, Rick.
Well, you heard my podcast before. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Duct tape.
Chocolate
You know.
starfish, right?
Oh God.
Okay. All right, moving on. Rick, did you want to get in on the game here with the last couple questions?
Sure thing. Sure. I just got that one. I guess just other people got it first.
Check out the
Right, he might
check out
take
the
it.
private chat.
What?
In the private chat, there's a way to
to get your
log
answer
in.
in. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm doing this through my phone. So,
you might not be able to multitask on the phone.
So let's see. Sorry, my eyes are.
I don't think anybody's catching Alan right now. So
I'm gonna have a comeback here.
Well, Luke, you're not going to catch me, so I don't know how you're going to.
Yeah, I have no
I got
idea.
this.
Kahoot thing, so I'll
That's
just
all right. Nothing wrong with bronze, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just go back in the.
It says I'm in 12th place.
we
Isn't
lost
there
him.
only 6 of us?
Where'd you go?
I mean, my phone literally says you're in 12th place.
Well, everyone keeps logging off, logging back in. So
Yeah.
you've got to
Well,
beat
my
yourself
phone-
now, Doug.
my
Whatever
phone
points you had
My
earlier,
phone
you
literally
lost them.
keeps logging me off and saying I have to re-sign in with a different name.
And that means you've lost your points.
I'm
So-
not going to beat myself on the internet here.
Yep, you've got to beat your previous
There we
score.
go.
in order to
Yeah,
go
and
back.
also when you say
That's what
beat
got
myself
Anthony
on the
Weiner in
internet,
trouble.
like just make sure that's not like sentences in a row.
Well,
like,
and-
beat myself on the internet.
And Rick,
So are we
will
ready to
say
move
that-
on?
Rick, I
Or-
will say that Steve's questions are very much like your dad's taste in music.
I don't even know if that's a
There's not
compliment
even
or not,
Steely Dan fucking song question.
but I'm gonna
yet.
take it as a
So-
compliment.
Hey, Mike, watch your mouth. Your mom's on. I just.
Yeah, my mom. Okay, so you see the two people on the bottom here. Ask them if my mom is offended by the F word, because
All right,
where do you think
next
I learned
question.
it from?
Next
And-
question.
Anybody that's driven in the car with my dad is no longer offended by the F word. So,
Yeah.
which includes your mom, Mike.
Yes.
So,
Next question.
All right, next question. Moving on. Who played drums for Guns N' Roses at the '89 American Music Awards?
Just read the book, so I know.
Al, do you know?
Taylor Swift looks
Al's
good.
got
I
to
might have
lose.
got 1,000 points on that one.
Well, you already caught. Yeah. you
no,
already
I think
caught
I should have
that.
went with my first guess.
Oh.
I would have got it wrong anyway.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mike, you might catch him. Keep it
Don
up.
Henley, man.
So
I did not know.
If I didn't read that book, I would have never known that.
If,
Well,
if
I
you-
should have known the answer.
well,
just
look, this is
because
it. This is
Steve
it
question.
shows them here.
yeah.
Because they couldn't fucking wheel fucking Steve Adler up the aisle to
Yep.
play.
So they called in the Boys of Summer. There we go.
Told you I'd sneak the Eagles in there somehow.
Yep, that's the Eagles.
Oh, close
Look at
the
this.
gap.
You got this, Mike. Mike, we've got faith in you.
I don't know.
Take
I
him
think
down.
the math works out.
Take him down.
I got to figure out how to get into this Kahoot thing for the next time. Man,
Oh, it's
I
Rick,
feel old.
you've got like 7 degrees and you're not going to figure it out. It's the most arcane nonsense.
I
Okay.
think it's working just fine.
Yeah, for you.
Give it time.
All right, let's see.
It's Cal
Number
Murray Jr.
18.
right here.
What was David Lee Roth's first solo effort?
Oh.
Oh no, he blocked me.
God, these are way too easy.
That one I know. Pow!
Rick, I'll tell you what, you would probably do really well on this a
Yes,
lot of these questions
Yeah.
because
I can
it's like
send
a lot
you
of like the
I can-
shit like from like the 80s and 90s like
It was
MTV
an EP.
questions.
Yeah, but not
I
the
think
80s.
I've been
but
pretty
not only the
diverse
80s
here.
and- But
No,
not only the
I'm not-
80s and
I'm not-
90s, but,
I'm
like,
just saying,
80s,
like-
90s weird, like
For
I've
for
been.
somebody
I
like
tried to
Rick
be
who
all
doesn't,
over
like,
the place.
no,
right, but for
you
somebody like
haven't.
Rick who doesn't like listen to this stuff, but he would know it just because like it was beaten to his head.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, and I swear to God, it was Eat 'Em a Smile. I'm so pissed that it's.
I did
Yeah,
too.
that,
Yeah,
that's
the Crazy
good
from the
guess.
Heat was the 4-song EP, and then
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
then you
Oh,
had
it's an
Right.
EP. That's not an album.
No,
Well, it was a record album.
It didn't say
They
Yeah,
only
album.
had
It said,
4 songs.
EP is an
said
album.
first. It said
No,
first
it's an
solo
extended
effort.
play. An
Effort.
album is an album.
Let's say album.
I was going to say because I have the album. Well, I also have
Mike.
the Eat 'Em and Smile. And,
Mike, it said first
It's the
solo
first
effort.
release.
And Mike, would you have gotten it correct if it said E EP?
I thought it was Eat 'Em and Smile. Is that the
If it
first
was
one?
EP, I knew it wouldn't have been Eat 'Em and Smile.
Ah, gotcha.
E-
Okay, all right.
Because
You
Eat 'Em and
would've
Smile I
guessed it,
knew was an
Mike. All right.
album. Because
I thought you were
that was
saying,
the
oh,
question.
if you would have said EP, I would have known this.
Yeah,
Well,
I,
there was
I
a-
would have been like, oh fuck, well I know it's not Eat 'Em and
Okay.
Smile. It's
That
got to
makes
be
sense.
something else.
I
It was
got
a-
it.
Yeah, that's what my thought process would have been.
It was really good subterfuge because if you wouldn't have known it was Crazy from the Heat, because Crazy from the Heat, well, I mean, is it Crazy from the Heat or just Going Crazy? Is the
no, Crazy from the Heat
Yeah,
That's
it's EP. I got it on vinyl.
That's the EP.
Yeah,
but
me too. Yeah.
is that the title of the song from Eat 'em and Smile? That's where I'm.
Yeah, going crazy.
Yeah, going crazy.
It's
Yep,
just
from the
going
heat.
crazy though,
Yeah.
but it's not crazy from.
Wait, is that on there or is that on Eat 'em and Smile?
It's got to be on
No,
there.
that's it's on the.
EP.
It's
A lot
on
of the
the.
songs have to be on there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you had California Girls
Yep.
and
Yeah. I
Oh
think
my
that's
God.
what's that's all right. I was never gonna catch him anyways. I'm Cal Norton Jr.
Steve, do you have any questions from this century for Nicole and I?
The 2021.
This is
Well, I
all
hope there's a
learning
cranberry
experience.
question.
Limp-
How did Dolores
Limp
O'Riordan
Bizkit
die?
album from 2021, Danny.
Yeah.
You want to know how Randy Rhoads died? I got a granddaughter that could tell you. She's
Texas support here, now on standby for reasons.
for a Randy Rhoads question. She could answer that. So, is
Okay.
there one
Here
on
we
there?
go. How many studio albums has Van
You're
Morrison
fucking
released?
kidding me?
Oh, geez.
Now a
Oh, my
billion?
word.
Is a billion the answer?
Something with a lot of zeros behind it.
Oh,
Oh, I got it. Oh,
I
got it right.
Fuck, I said 41. I mean, how the hell did you know?
43 is the
That's a total
answer.
guess.
That was
Total
definitely
guess.
a shot in the dark.
Yeah,
Luke,
Right
did you
Wing
get that
Nut
one?
Jobs released an album. Wait, what?
I have a
Luke,
majority.
did you
of
get
them.
43
Yes, I
albums?
did. Yeah, I have a majority of them. I've got a
All right,
whole.
I don't know
whole
if I
rack
can
here.
put a playlist together for 43 songs for
No.
Van Morrison. Though. Like the first half
Moon
of the career
Dance.
was
Moon
great.
Dance is a great.
Well,
record.
what's his
Moon Dance is
catalog?
awesome.
What's his number on in his catalog? How many? I mean, do you know what the number of songs?
43 albums.
What,
I
43
mean,
albums.
that's got to be at a minimum
Times
430 songs. At a
Times
minimum.
10,
If they're
Wow.
and the only one anyone knows is Moondance.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Come
grabbed
on,
a
Brown-Eyed
grabbed
Girl.
a chunk.
Tupelo
Just grabbed a
Mystic.
chunk of them. So that's
Brown-Eyed
That's a
Girl.
good one. There's a lot of good.
I just played
there's a
Into
lot
the
of good
Mystic.
Van Morrison records, but
Astro
Astro
Weeks,
Weeks. Astro
Brown-Eyed
Weeks.
Girl. Hello.
Dance,
Brown-Eyed Girl.
Luke.
Hello.
his band in the
Look, I
street
think you were
choir,
tipped off
All right.
the question.
Tupelo Honey.
Very impressive, Luke.
Well, we're going through all of them. Come on.
he's gonna keep stacking them. Oh, well, hey, hold on, Luke. Let me go
Say-
and get my CDs on them.
St. Dominic's Preview.
1972. It's a good record.
Oh, is that on your list? Nice.
That was on the list.
I didn't
man.
see it.
I could get my
All
Creed
right, I'll
CDs,
stop.
but they'd already be
Stack
blocked
of
by now.
I have a
My
couple
Creed
Creed
CDs
CDs
are
as
under
well.
are under my drinks.
The Creed CDs actually level my couch, so that's what I do.
All right, ready for the last question?
I'm ready for
Who's the
silver.
lead singer of
Let's go.
Pearl Jam?
Silver. Oh,
Ooh.
I got it.
Who was not in the chorus of "We Are the World"?
oh, fuck! I thought it was
Dang.
Bob
Oh,
Geldof.
I missed it. Was it Dan Aykroyd?
No,
Oh.
Dan was in
Chris
it.
Christopherson.
Yeah, Dan
I
Aykroyd
thought
was
it was
in it.
Bob Geldof for some reason because he.
Well,
put it
Bob
together.
Geldof didn't he do the thing? He was with the Boomtown Rats, but wasn't he the guy that was
Live
in
Aid.
charge of it?
Live Aid.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that
was
was
Live
Live
Aid.
Aid. That's
Yeah.
right.
Band-Aid and Live Aid. Yeah,
That's right.
but
I
he
didn't
did
think
participate.
they were
in
He had a cocaine rap to.
Hey, according
Oh.
to Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson couldn't sing anyways, so that's why they couldn't. That's why the Star is Born sucked in the
you and
70s.
her.
I'm just telling you what.
I love the
what
fact
Bab
that Dan
said,
Aykroyd
okay?
was in there for some reason.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
he
most
was part of the Blues Brothers, I think, is what. And by that time, Belushi was already dead. So, and Dan
Sympathy.
was.
You got in on Sympathy.
Yeah, Dan was in with all the blues. You know, he had the blues radio show and all that stuff. And
As they say, nothing wrong with silver.
well, you had Spinal Tap in there too.
Oh,
So,
Luke,
I mean,
Who
those,
won? Who won?
Ooh,
Alan.
good job.
or was that no? That they were in We Are Stars. That was the heavy metal.
Congratulations.
Holy cow!
Well, that's
Wow.
fun. Look how
Yeah,
that's cool. I like put all that together. I mean,
Hey Steve, next time can we get questions from the 20th century?
Yeah,
Again,
so how
I
do
had
we,
a question
hey,
about a
Dan, you can only use
2021
that joke
album.
once. You can't keep using that joke though.
This was like a history lesson. This is nice.
The only thing is you didn't go back.
Thank
far
you,
enough.
Nicole. Now that's an original joke. Thank you.
Danny used two different jokes. His first was, "Can we get something from this century?" and the next one was from the 20th century. So
Well,
they were all
the Jimi Hendrix. That one.
Not
I
all
knew.
of
That's the
this is
same
gonna make
joke.
it into my
You know that's the same
special
joke.
You have to go back even further.
Okay, so next time it'll be 19th century music trivia.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we
Yeah,
have
you
like a lot
tell
of
us
Bach
all,
and
'cause you're like,
Beethoven?
oh, I know that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Bach, Beethoven.
Yep. Now, come on. Bach was in the 18th, the 17th, and 18th.
Oh,
centuries.
you're
Not-
right. Yes, I would have got that wrong.
There you go. You're already out of the game. Woo.
Didn't music history start with like Robert Smith?
No,
I
think it started
You know
with
what?
Elvis, actually.
I wish Katie would come down here. She's too shy about it. As soon as she would just given you a hug through the thing, Danny, for that comment.
See,
So-
nothing wrong with the cure.
Yep.
In fact,
Need
there's
some
everything right.
John Lee
Hey,
Hooker and
Rick, real
Howlin'
quick, can you
Wolf.
see to the corner of me? I don't know which.
You couldn't throw in a Johnny Cash or Elvis Presley or
See the
anything like
Metallica
that?
poster?
Sweet.
Which poster?
That's from the Madison show.
So Alan wanted me to bring something up. Have you found a solution to your scavenger hunt, Al?
Oh yeah, no, I have not. And you know what I did? I went on the Facebook, and I joined that group and asked the question. I haven't got a response yet. So
The Facebook?
So
the
Yeah,
Facebook.
the-
Well, to be fair,
The
it was
Facebook.
called the Facebook originally.
I went
Okay.
on.
Justin
All right.
Timberlake said, just call it Facebook.
I went
Al
on the
was one of the
interweb.
first members.
It
I
was
went
on the internet.
interweb.
So he's trying to figure out what the date of this, or was it?
Yeah.
Or who the
so I
band-
went on the.
I think
went
it's
on
a
the
recital.
interweb.
The date of the show?
Yeah.
Got half
the
the tickets.
interweb does not have anything.
So the
Interweb
first
man,
one
not
would be
provide an
38
answer.
special.
Yep. Peoria
The
Civic
38
Center
special.
Arena.
Oh, Al, if you just go on
Setlist.
Setlist FM,
Dude, I've been.
type in 38 special.
I've
it
looked.
should come up.
Just
Dude.
like $12, and you could tell the ticket is
I loved when they used to rip the tickets, man. That was the
Yep.
best thing.
yeah. That was
No.
Because it proved you walked into the show.
No, that's true.
yeah.
I loved that. I loved the rip ticket. Like, I used to like when they first started scanning them. I was like, "Hey, would you rip it just for me? Because I can't."
So,
rip it.
so the other significant thing on this is, if I remember right, Stevie Ray Vaughan opened the show.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So on set
Well,
list,
it was before 1990, or I should say,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's somewhere between 82 and 84.
I was going to say because of the
Wow.
ticket, I would say like 82 because of the
But
the ticket design wasn't anything special, and it was $12.
it would have been
and
it would have
38
been
special
late.
would have been good.
It would have been late 82 because my first concert was September 9th of 82.
Yeah.
So,
and
and
so
I,
they
and I
had
know it was after, it was
Well-
very close to that. It was right after that. So somewhere
Well,
between.
right next to it is a ticket from 1984, same arena, much different
Yeah.
design.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
much
they,
a much better design. That is like when they first the Civic Center. I think I saw Cheap Trick, and I think it was like $8, and so that was in the late 70s.
Emerson, Lake and
When the
Palmer.
when
Nice.
when the
Guys, just
Civic
a
Center
just a
first
real
opened up.
quick Matt, just real fast. My mom said she has to finish her movie, so she said we were all hilarious, and she can't stay on. So we can all
Joe
start swearing
Magnolias
again,
isn't going to watch it. So
apparently. So we all can start swearing again because
Okay.
my mom, who doesn't swear ever,
Ever, never.
who basically
she
the word
rivals.
the
She rivals Rick's
also
dad.
equals fuck. It's the same word. So, but now you guys say whatever you want. You know, she's got to watch her movie. 'cause,
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know what
I
movie
would,
she's
I would
watching.
only guess. Are we sure that my assumption is it is a 38 special ticket?
it might not be. Yeah,
Or-
it might
yeah, I'm wondering if it's
Yeah.
something like matinee special or
no. See,
No?
the thing is, I mean, I remember being there and I remember about the time but I just can't remember the exact date.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they have that teacher song? I mean, 38 Special
It
and
was
probably
before
19.
that.
It
way
was.
before that. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I thought that was one of my like high school movies or like freshman year or something like that. When I would go out with my friends or something, that would be a movie that we might have seen.
See, I recognize this.
Luke's already on there. He's researching, man.
I recognize this.
I'm not seeing it. Yeah,
I was on that site. I recognize the XXX and that's the Peoria Civic Center archive, right?
Yeah. So,
Yep.
are you sure they
Dude,
played that?
I've been 2 days. I've been working on this.
All
I
right.
cannot. I've been on every.
I'm glad you
freaking-
recognize what that was. I thought Luke was spamming my thing with XXX. I was like, what are you trying to do? I'm a family man.
You got to throw them keywords out there. You know.
My goodness.
Anyway, that's what I've been working on for 2 days. Well, I mean, I've been working, but at home. So,
Working.
You're amongst friends now.
On my break, I search.
There you go.
You're a ticket stub PI.
Working. Yeah.
On the side. That's your hustle. People just bring you their ticket stubs and say,
Yeah.
I don't remember this concert.
Well,
Where was I? What year?
I think I've showed some of you or most of you. You've seen the collage, right? Or no?
Nicole hasn't seen it.
No, I haven't either. No.
And I was at a lot of those shows, but I wasn't at that 38 Special that time. So I've seen them twice at the.
Can I post pictures on here?
They had the bike rallies. Down
you
by
send
the
it to me, I can
courthouse
put it up.
during TT weekend.
Hang on. I don't think I have a picture, but.
Hey, Luke, while we're waiting for Al, do you have the scarf handy?
I can go grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rick might get a kick out of that.
All right.
All right.
The tale of the scarf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to know about this.
Yeah.
And I love
We'll let Luke tell it. It's his story to tell there.
I'm going to see if he's had any bids on that thing. I knew he had put it up for sale or something at one time.
Yeah.
Well, when in one of our live streams, it was out of the case because he had it in like a little shadow box.
Yeah.
See, it's out of the case.
So here, Luke.
Steve, I sent it to your phone.
It's been featured on three podcasts now, or live streams.
Yep.
Matter. But tell us the story.
All right. So my aunt Sherry, she went to see Elvis in Champaign, Illinois.
What year?
1977. Yeah, I think so. 76, 77, somewhere around there. Anyway, she was in the front row and he handed it to her. And it's got makeup or
sweat.
It's got brown and blue streaks on it. So I think he wiped his face with it or wiped his neck with it or something. And it's a pretty neat heirloom. Anyway, I was going to sell it, but Danny and Mike talked me into keeping it. So I'm going to get it framed.
Oh, well, that's good. I was just while you were gone, I was going to ask you. I told him I was going to ask you if you had bids or anything on that.
Nope,
So.
they talked me out of it, so I'm going to hold on to it.
My daughter has a basement room, and as a practical joke, every year we get her Elvis related items.
Nice.
For the basement. She went to summer camp one time, and I worked at an old folks home, and the person passed away, and there was a good Elvis on vinyl, or what was that? The black vinyl or whatever that.
Black, like a black velvet.
Black velvet.
Yeah.
Velvet up on the side of the road, for cheap. And I hung it in her room, and so when she came back, it was hanging above her bed, and she left it there. I said, "Do you like what I got you?" And I thought she would joke about it, and that would be the end of it. But then her friends would come over. They go, "Do you really like that guy?" And they go, "No, my dad bought it for me." I kind of like him, but my dad bought it for me. And from that point on, we would always get her Elvis stuff every Christmas. And
nice.
So now she is an Elvis fan. She listens to him in the car on the way, when we're on the road and stuff.
Sure. Very cool.
Hey, Steve. real quick.
Yeah,
There it is.
That is a collection.
What is the dollar
my
bill?
My wife wants to know. Are you seeing her comments on the YouTube?
yes, but she keeps talking about Creed.
Yes. Yeah!
I mean, I
Yes,
understand. I understand that Marissa really likes Creed.
No,
You know,
Yeah,
that's cool.
She might come
but
in here
It's,
like
it's
now.
a bit of it. It seems to be a bit of an obsession with her.
Steve, Rick and I can attest. We've known Michael the longest, and he's been the largest Creed fan. He kind of thinks that it's in jest here, but he's the biggest Creed fan to ever walk the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He's
met-
the
I
best-
met
Obviously,
Marissa.
it's true.
Now,
But no, Steve, the real question is, she's like, does he see my comments? Because I'm like, I was just out there getting a beer, and she goes, tell Luke to keep that fucking scarf. What the fuck's wrong with him? I go, why don't you type that in there? She goes, no, I'm just gonna type like, oh, that's so cool.
That's
I met Marissa at the Pearl Jam concert, and the first thing she asked me about was Creed, and we talked about all of their
That's what I
albums.
mean.
She
So,
did
like-
because
like-
because the four
I've
of
known
us have
Michael's
talked
wife
about Creed for like a year and a half.
born, and yeah, Michael is Rick.
See-
Tell me if I'm lying.
See, someone in the comments loves Scott Stapp.
Michael's first favorite band ever is Creed.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought it was
I liked.
Fuck. Oh wait.
I've got their solo stuff too, like Scott, his solo albums and things like that too.
See,
which-
that's the problem. You're feeding Doug here. And
well, that's it. But I like when they're Creed, and I heard that they may actually be maybe doing something again. But it's just like Nickelback. People give them shit, but you know what? They have both sold lots of albums, and
That
the
doesn't mean
concert.
anything.
Doug,
Yeah, I
no.
think
You
they
like
should
Kenny G?
do.
He sold a
The
lot of
Bible
records,
is the
too.
most selling.
I think they should do
of all
Creed
time. It doesn't
covers
mean it's
Creed
good.
and get
Kotex
Creed,
sold lots of
Creed Bratton
tampons.
from
Yeah.
from the grassroots.
And
Wait,
That's
Nicole,
the
what did
Creed
you say?
I'd want to hear.
Nicole, what did you say?
I said we need a Creed covers Creed album where Creed Bratton from the grassroots covers
they do
Creed
have
songs.
they do have
There you go.
quite a few like best of type things out there, but yeah,
Maybe
they
we
do
could
sell a lot.
petition.
They do sell a
We
lot
could
of toilet
petition
paper,
Joe
too.
Cocker to do an album of Creed covers.
How about
Yeah, there you go.
how
Hey,
about-
you, Steve, you know what my hell is. There it is.
Err.
That's, like,
we should have
I've
Creed.
already stepped into hell. Like, if there is a way to do it,
Yep.
hear it out loud. That's it.
A little help with my friends.
Fire, brimstone, all that shit doesn't matter if I have to listen to that for 24 hours a day.
That was actually a very good Scott Stapp.
I was gonna
impression.
say I haven't.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a. If you have, I don't know.
Now I
if
see
people
my- I see
have
my wife's
Brimstone
comments.
songs. I mean, I've listened to every album and stuff, and you know,
no.
some of it will have a.
Oh,
It could be taken as a Christian overtone, which they said, you know,
It
originally
can
that's
be.
what they were doing. But you know, I also hear it as love songs to his kid and.
Yeah, can we
You
zoom
know,
in on
life
that Pearl Jam
and-
ticket?
Yeah, I saw
Buddy
the
guy.
Beetle. Yeah,
So
the
there's-
Scarab.
wait,
Yeah,
so
that's-
Al, is this
Yeah,
yours?
who signed the dollar bill?
That's Tommy Lee.
This Tommy Lee.
If you go over that,
Well, what did he sign it with? His
the
hand
Pro
or
the Pro
Something
Jam
else.
one,
Yeah,
Which way do you want me to go, Danny?
I have that one too. Were you in Soldier Field, or where were
Yeah.
you to see that show?
hey, Al, was
In
that
95.
when
Yeah,
they was
that
over at
Soldier Field now, or
at your friend's neighbor's house and he rode my chopper? We
Yeah,
talked-
that's the Tommy Lee one.
yeah. That was a great day.
how many
Liam.
was at your guys' house?
One of
Tommy Lee
Al's
signed
friends.
it with his Lee.
Yeah, he was a down to earth guy. I felt sorry for him because he couldn't go anywhere without being mobbed, you know. But we got to talk about, I don't know, 20 minutes to a half hour, and
Yeah, he was pretty cool actually.
yeah, I mean he not as wild. He thought I was wild and told me to take it easy. I let him ride my custom chopper around the block, and he came off of it shaking and said it was the fastest thing he ever been on. And I said, "Oh, but you're married to Pamela Lee, right?" And he looked at me and then put me in a headlock and gave me a noogie. Ah! You know, I'm sitting there going, you know, he didn't get upset with it. He's like, oh yeah, you know, we were joking around, having fun. We pulled a scam to get past the barriers and stuff like that. And heck, Al and I, we were eating the sandwiches from the film crew and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. We fit right in, and the cops looked at me. I said,
No, I don't believe that you two would fit right in the back of the roadies.
I had hair.
I would think that you guys look like church boys, just like real sweet. And...
I said, Tommy told me it was okay.
It was easier.
I told the cop that was keeping people out, you know, I said, Tommy told me to tell you it was okay. And he looked at me and looked at my bike and he goes, okay, lifted the barrier, and you could hear all the people, hey, that's my dad, that's my brother, and all this. And I'm like, yeah, not falling for it. So, and then I burned rubber up the street, and Tommy'd come walking out, and he was just totally amazed at the bike. I said, you want to ride it? And so very few people got to ride that bike because it was scary fast.
Al, I will say it's a good thing that you didn't like laminate your tickets, because I wish my mom was on here now, because this is like a nerdy thing that my mom actually had happen to her. Not nerdy, but like it's sad. This person came in with all these tickets, and they tried to laminate it, and because of the heat, it turned all the tickets black.
Oh,
so all those tickets turned black, and this person had like a wall like you had, and my mom sat there and said, I don't know what to do.
Oh,
like,
boy.
And so with tickets, yeah, you can't laminate them. Like
I
those
use
old
that
school tickets.
I think it's decoupage or whatever you call it. I use that on
Like
those.
Mod Podge.
Hey, Al, who's that pick? What pick is that? What band?
Well, to the left of where that square is Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick.
Oh yeah, that's
hey, Peace Pizza.
The square is Creed, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it?
Nice.
I don't have a Creed one. I do have a Rick Nielsen guitar pick though.
I do want to point out one over here, Al. This is with Rolling Stones with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. LA Coliseum.
Yeah.
Wow.
Living Color opened up for
what a great show.
Old show. Yeah.
Rick,
I had tickets for the show with Metallica and Guns N' Roses that the riot was, but I was in the hospital at that time, so I missed the riot.
In St. Louis.
And Rick might be able to back me up more than anybody else here, but
There's another Pearl Jam on
Rolling
there, too.
Stones and Guns N' Roses makes a lot more sense then than it might now, because I mean, early GNR is essentially Rolling Stones, right, Rick?
It's got
agree.
Stones running through its backbone.
And early Stones and
that
punk.
was Izzy Stradlin.
Izzy.
Yep.
Izzy is in my heart.
Listen to the Juju Hound, the first Juju Hounds album. It's basically a Stones record.
Yeah, Keith Richards ripoff.
It's basically Keith Richards' first solo record.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I see Rick Springfield.
That was the very first concert I ever went to, believe it or not.
Wow.
Nice.
Greg Kinn Band opened up the shows.
Oh wow.
So good.
And see, that's the same type of ticket. See, that's that paper type ticket.
The Velvet Revolver too, which
that was good.
Rick Springfield's still out there doing it. He's
And
still
now
out there doing shows.
I mentioned this before, but I do have to say that Beatles Pearl Jam one, that was my first big show ever.
Oh, nice.
Pearl Jam at Soldier Field. And I had that hanging on my bedroom wall for 20 some years.
Cool.
Yeah, and I got to look at it every day because I didn't get to go.
Oh, because Michael's mom, if she's not on here, said he couldn't.
No, it's out. She's not on.
Too younger.
Fuck that lady. She was the worst mom in the world.
But his younger
She wouldn't let me go to Chicago at 15, but I mean, Danny's parents were apparently, saints because they let their 14-year-old kid go.
Speaking of the Guns N' Roses ticket, there's another one on there. The very first night of the Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, they opened at Alpine Valley, and there's a ticket on there of that somewhere.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. That's.
Oh.
I would have liked to see that before that it all disintegrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
Isn't
still,
that where Metallica opened for him?
Appetite for Destruction was I thought was the best that they ever did. But
yes.
Oh yeah.
The first time I
No
ever
doubt.
even heard about Use Your Illusion 1 or 2 is Rick standing in his kitchen on the phone pre-ordering both tapes.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yep.
I need to make sure these are. I need to make sure this is my name. These are
Yeah.
there. I was there, in the summer, and they were coming out like at the end. What was September?
September.
Yeah, what it was. No, I need both of them. Like arguing with somebody, I think it was Musicland or Disc Hockey or whatever. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, this is amazing. Yeah.
It
And
came
aren't the, oh,
pack
go ahead.
too,
Well, you could get one or the other,
or both.
and you ordered the both.
Gotta
Yeah,
get
you
both.
had to make sure that it was both
But
pre-packed.
can't we all agree there should only have been one?
completely.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, they
Yeah,
could
but
have
at the time, I mean,
narrowed
Like,
it.
no, I mean, I get, I
Appetite is one of
understand
the
it.
greatest.
but-
Appetite is one of the greatest rock records.
Period.
Yeah,
oh,
from
it's
front to back.
100%.
It was all
There's
downhill
no
after
denying
that.
Yep.
There's no denying that.
There was nowhere to go but down
every
after
time I
that.
listen to- every time I listen to Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, and I'm like, I feel like we could just cut this down like about 10 songs and
Yeah.
make it a fantastic one record
But
that
it,
would blow Appetite out of the way.
it also
I think, but
it's
and we have
something-
Arnold in the videos, and
well, yeah, you could
Yeah.
be. There was such hype when like Civil War came out and You
Mhm.
Could Be Mine came out because
Yeah.
those songs, those are still probably two of the most solid.
no, they're
songs.
great songs.
Yeah, and the problem was I think they sat on it too long and they let Axl go crazy in the producer's seat a little bit, basically. From what I understand, and like it was just so overproduced, like all that crap with
Yeah, the
like-
trilogy.
Strange.
yeah, oh
The
god,
trilogy.
Like,
yeah.
wait, so Axl was the problem? That's weird. I never.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't seem like that type of
wait,
guy.
you're just breaking news here.
But I will
Yeah.
say, Rick, I will say one of my favorite GNR songs ever, and not in a GNR vein, is 14 Years.
oh god, it's a great.
Because that is so much Izzy,
He's
Yeah.
who
big
had
mo-
already been dismissed from the band.
Well, Chinese Democracy, that whole album, because it took so long. I've listened to it twice. I just haven't got into it at all. And sometimes if you listen to it, you'll get into it. But I didn't get into it at all.
No.
And I thought, what a waste that amount of time waiting for something. But maybe
Yep.
your
I will say, like, I think when I listened to it, I was like, all right, well, it's been so long because it was
Yeah.
like, fuck that. Last time you think of Guns N' Roses, you think of like the early '90s. Like,
Yep.
you don't even think about it.
Yeah, it
You're
didn't
like,
sound
oh,
like
so
that.
it will be kind of cool to hear him again.
Yeah.
And you went back and you listened to it, and I thought it's not bad. It's
Ooh.
not the worst thing I've ever heard. It's just that Axl like gets in his head and fucking just
I
and
thought
I-
it sucked.
as a guy, as a guy who
Oh.
just read, I just read Steve Adler's book. Like, I know it's been out for a long
Oh
time.
yeah, I
but
want to get that. I want to read that.
it's really good. Like,
Okay.
I mean, and the guy did a lot of drugs, and he admits it all the way
That's
through.
why he had a
and-
stroke. And,
Yeah.
And he had a stroke, and like he
Yeah,
almost
that's
died like
tough.
several thousand times. But he was like, I was the only one that could stand up to Axl, and that's why they kicked me out of the band,
Mm,
which is fine.
Maybe.
And he,
Maybe.
well, I
It's
mean,
great,
that's like
'cause he can
that's
still
like Dave
play.
Mustaine getting kicked out of Metallica because
Makes
he drank
good
too
book-
much. Like,
book material.
you know,
I
like,
think it's Izzy leaving is the downfall of that band.
Yeah, it was a
Huge.
different
Just like
band.
Rick, I think Mustaine leaving Metallica. Well, Burton dying, obviously.
Well, yeah, that
like that,
Burton-
Those
Cliff
two
Burton
were
dying was
the-
way
those
bigger
two were
than Dave.
But Hammond couldn't play. Kurt can't play like Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine made those first albums,
Well,
or you know what I mean, or
I just mean from a songwriting perspective,
the driving force,
from,
the speed.
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
because if I listen to, well, except for the new Metallica song, I hope
Well,
good things are coming out of that. But Megadeth still puts out some pretty good stuff.
yeah, Megadeth is vastly superior in a lot more
more solid throughout their whole career.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
More good,
Why, you
more
guys
good
don't like Load
songs per
Reload?
album. More good
He
songs
sells-
per album.
He sells is essentially a Metallica record,
Mhm.
right?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go with that.
No,
No.
I
That's
think
right.
it is.
I mean, Killing
he's
is my
solid.
business. Because Killing is my business is closer to a Metallica album, I would say.
All right. See, I think Killing
Is that the one with the
He's
one
solid
which
with
is
it.
basically them?
Are you talking about early Metallica? Because
Megadeth.
early Megadeth, like So Far So Good So What,
Yes.
was your Ride the Lightning type stuff. And if Mustaine wasn't, Metallica or Megadeth wouldn't be playing on those first couple albums. Mustaine's speed and everything is what made those first couple albums really good. And then, you could call them sellouts and stuff, but really what is it? Load. That's the Load. That's where they kind of lost
Load
me.
and Reload. They didn't even play
I will
solos.
say, if as a Metallica fan, as in a diehard, there are two different bands.
Yep.
There's the greatest thrash metal band to ever exist, and there's a really, really good hard rock band that exists.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to equate the two or, marriage the two, you're going to come up and butt heads. But there's no denying that the best to ever do thrash is Metallica.
Well, you got. I know.
Man, I don't know.
No,
fucking Slayer.
No.
Pantera?
I will argue.
Pantera.
Well,
Slayer?
Pantera would be different.
Pantera is not in the
thrash
same level.
is different than what they played.
No.
Now, the first couple albums,
Metallica brought everything into it.
I don't even think of Metallica as
it's because of Mustaine and Megadeth. Mustaine and what Megadeth. Listen to So Far So Good So What. Listen to that album and you're gonna go, oh shit, that's where they came up with Battery. That's where they came with Ride the Lightning. That's where they came up with some of these of the faster songs.
Doug, I agree. I started it by saying, agreeing with you, but what I'm saying is, Dave had a very influential point in the songwriting process, but I think Dave, Cliff, those guys, what made Metallica.
And James,
yes, and that's it. And
but James needed those other two guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah.
Not the same without.
Michael Jordan played for the Wizards. Don't talk.
Exactly. Yeah, you had to have Pippen and everybody else. I know.
Oh, Mike loves Saint Anger.
Shit, I forgot about Saint Anger. Honestly,
that was
that's the one with no guitar solos.
That
no guitar
solos.
Let me ask a
The
question.
whole album is Lars and his fucking kick drum and his fucking.
Let me ask
the snare
and the snares.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Come out.
Yeah,
Nicole.
Just because he's a tennis player doesn't mean he has that good of cardio.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got a question for Nicole. Go ahead,
Nicole. What is your relationship? How did you come to Metallica? What's your view on Metallica? No, because you're doing the Cranberries, right?
Yes.
Cranberries
so
are
was that
awesome.
something that was Metallica even relevant to you? That kind of music even relevant to you? You didn't care about it?
Nope, not even on my radar at that time.
Gotcha.
If I make the reference,
the real question is, I have to ask, like, how is it that you do that one and not the one without Zombie? I mean, my wife's favorite song of all time.
Zombie. That is a song.
I just have to ask, like, why you
have to wait for the episode,
not
Mike.
the second one.
I
know, Steve. I don't want to ruin it.
Don't give it all away. Don't give it away.
Yeah. But I will just say that I encountered the first album first. And that was what hooked me first. And then I heard them in sequence and even started to get them as Christmas gifts. So I went along the journey on a slight delay from when they came out. But yes, no need to argue like that. The whole album is amazing as well. It's incredible.
Brilliant.
So Steve, just record that, what you just said, and then use it.
Because at one point, Nicole, I agree with you, because at one point Rick got me as a Christmas gift Warren's cherry pie.
Oh man.
I would.
And Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Can we talk
Rick
about the
requested
Christmas gift that I got you?
Rick probably got it as an extra in the record of the month club.
And Justice for All. It was at the News and Blues in Spring Valley, and my dad goes, "Got to get something for your cousin." And I said, "Oh, Danny likes this," and I pulled the tape out, and it was in Justice for All Metallica. I go, "He likes that." So my dad, which is hilarious now, I'm 42, so at that time he was probably 20 or 37, 32. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was like, in his 30s. And he's like, "Yeah, whatever. My kid says it. Just get the cassette of this Lady Liberty thing." He doesn't know who the fuck Metallica is. He doesn't know who the fuck anybody is on MTV. My dad, to this day, has no idea. He's like, "Yeah, we'll get that." Wrap it up and gave it to him. And
I think some of the best music you encounter sometimes is encountering it in an arbitrary way, too. Like bands you accidentally got introduced to.
Yeah. So I'll hear a song and then I'll
without context or with you have to listen to this.
Yeah.
It's almost like the undue pressure.
I got a story about that too.
Well, I want to add on to the Christmas gift. So Alan here, during one Christmas, he hands me 2 CDs. One is Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Greatest Hits, which
this explains all of our
had never heard of that before. I mean, didn't know anything about it. But also Aerosmith Gems, and this was during he gave it to me though when Crying, Amazing, that particular era of Aerosmith.
Yeah,
and my reply to him was, "Oh yeah, I like these guys. They sing Crying."
Yeah,
and he hammered it home like, no, this is good Aerosmith.
Nick might be having seizure. I'm not sure.
When I heard Aerosmith for the first time was my uncle's 8-track tape player with the big Mickey Mouse phones, and there was no volume control. I mean, you could just turn it up super loud, and you had Back in the Saddle Again and Big 10-inch and all these other songs.
That Aerosmith Gems was nothing like I was expecting. I mean, it had Mama Kin and Train Kept Rolling. I mean, there was it was an excellent album.
Back then, you just didn't know if they were going to show up for their concerts because of the drug problems.
Once they got sober, they sucked.
Yeah.
Well, they got in with
after done with Meters,
DMC.
I was done with them.
When they did Run DMC, it brought them back to people, knowing who they were.
Mainstream.
Yeah, and then they hired songwriters to do Permanent Vacation.
Nicole, I have a story about the getting music arbitrary. So that I think I was in 5th or 6th grade, and some guy, one of my buddies, Larry Medeiros was his name. He came to class one day and he said, "I got this album and I don't really like it. You want to listen to it?" And of course, I'm always up for it, right? So I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll listen to it." So I took it home, I put it on, and I played it like a million times. The album he gave me was Queen Live Killers.
Oh yeah,
and it turned me on to Queen to this day.
How could somebody not like that? How could somebody not like that?
And that's what
I mean. That was yeah. That's a great album.
I got turned on to Queen through News of the World.
Yes,
the album artwork is what drew me to that because it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought an album just not even knowing the artist, but just thought the cover was cool, and you're like, I just want to hear what this band sounds like because I just want this art in my house.
Was it Family Guy that showed the I think it was Family Guy that just would show that crying was it robot or whatever you want to call them, and it was freaking them out. But I have to try to see if I can find it on Google. But it was so funny because it was freaking them out. But Family Guy moment where they spend a minute on the same thing, or maybe even 90 seconds of him staring at the robot and back to him and back to the robot. So, but
they think they got the idea from the Queen album.
I do. Yeah, that's exactly because they.
I would say the answer is true. That especially people.
It is cool.
Like this age, we all just that album cover looks cool.
Yeah,
let's just buy that.
Well, I was just going to say, it is very cool, especially, we're all from different generations and everything, but how imposing, how enticing an album cover is. Or if somebody says, we've all talked about it on our episodes, with Steve, but if somebody gives you something, or, whether it's physical, digital, or whatever, and there's a record there, and there's an album cover there, and you're like, it's so intriguing. What
I think that
what is there?
That one had "We Will Rock You," and that that was big. I can remember stomping our feet on the floorboards of the car and clapping to "We Will Rock You," and so that was.
I think to touch on what Danny said, I think that with all the advantages of streaming and everything being on demand and ready, and autoplay based on whatever your algorithm is telling you, the album art is getting to be a lost art, because I can't think of any recent albums that are imprinted in my memory, because you're not shopping through the record store. You're not shopping for your CDs. All you're seeing is a tiny little thumbnail.
Yeah, you're seeing us.
And they're not all as cool as the Music Rewind logo. So
Luke found it, by the way. You think he found it?
Most Steve is.
I don't think I did.
It's not, dude.
You made it up, Al.
It's a treasure.
It doesn't exist.
I know, it's a treasure hunt.
But here's the deal. So all of these dates that I'm posting, could they have possibly stopped by Peoria the next day on the way to?
That's absolutely it. It was a fill-in. It was a fill-in last minute thing.
So any of these could be correct.
Yeah, like that Golden
they would have
38 special. I can remember them. I think I didn't go see them then, but
it would have been
before. It would have been before then.
No, it would have been like, so you guys probably already know. So Peoria is a stop, not only geographically, but from Chicago to Peoria to St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at concerts, that's how it always goes for Peoria shows. Or when a band gets ready to go out on a full-blown tour, they come to Peoria or a smaller city like that, and they warm up. They iron out.
Oh, I'm in the advertising business, and from the early 70s to the late 90s, it used to say if it plays in Peoria, that's where they would test.
Yeah,
I think that goes back to even like vaudeville
the 40s.
Yeah, it does.
Well, right. Yeah, Nicole, you're right. But they would say, well, if it plays in Middle America, and Peoria used to be the quintessential
test market,
Middle America,
white Middle America. If it'll sell there,
WMA, Luke.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, we were talking about album artwork. The reason I bought the first Iron Maiden was record album was because of the artwork.
Yeah, they always had some good
detailed
artwork.
And so I bought every album after that because of the artwork, but they had the songs to back it up, So that originally, kid in high school, and I saw that, I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
I'll tie you back to Rick's episode, Music Rewind. You saw the cassette on somebody's desk, and that intrigued you enough to listen to what was there.
Well, to ask to take it, I gotta take this thing home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a couple of things I want to say. First are actually Peoria stories, because some of I talked about growing up in Waukesha, but I was in Peoria until I was almost 7. That's where I was born. And I have a lot of fond memories, but one of them was Caterpillar tractor rallies.
Oh yeah.
And my dad worked for Cat, of course.
Mine did too.
Yeah,
everybody's. Yeah.
And that's the first place I encountered Queen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know what it was, but they always used to play Another One Bites the Dust.
I didn't realize that. Well, I'm probably older than you are, but I can remember going and getting the ice cream sandwiches and all that stuff. So my dad, my grandpa, my uncles, they all worked at Caterpillar. It's sad now because It's not what it was.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not the world headquarters anymore.
No, no.
Yeah. And then
it's Chicago, ain't
it?
Yes, but I also heard
last month.
Yeah.
Now it's Texas.
Yeah,
Texas,
now they're moving out of Texas, aren't they?
Taxes are low in Texas.
It was Deerfield. Now they're going wherever in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Texas is business friendly and actually personal friendly. You don't have certain taxes like you do everywhere else. And Illinois has very high taxes on everything, businesses and utilities, that kind of stuff.
But that was the other thing was earlier in the week, in tribute to Jeff Beck, there was an article in the Milwaukee Journal that was talking about how at a show in Peoria where he opened for Fleetwood Mac. So this would have been like 76 or 77. Like
Peter
Green.
Yeah. Jeff Beck requested a fish dinner on his rider. And those of you who know the area, King's Restaurant was famous for its catfish dinners, right? And they brought it
like it's gonna be catfish.
Yeah. And of course, and apparently Englishmen don't eat catfish, or at least they didn't in the 70s.
Are there catfish in England? Like,
but
it's probably considered like the
catfish
lowest bottom feeding.
It's bottom feeder. I'm sorry, I know I'm from off the Illinois River, but that is dirt fish.
It
well, yeah. In any case, he flung it across the room he threw it at the person that brought it to him.
Oh wow!
It was like this very renowned from King's Restaurant. Like, oh my gosh, it's a local delicacy. And apparently, he apologized later, but it just reminded me, and I was like, yeah, I have really vague memories of King's Restaurant. Because again,
imagine if they had carp.
Oh yeah,
carp.
Well, they could have went to Jonah's. You remember Jonah's in East Peoria? They're still around, but get a good piece of fish there. Mm-hmm. Are we selling advertisements for them now?
I don't know. All I knew of Peoria was Showbiz Pizza back in the
actually,
all I knew about Peoria was
the last time I went to Jonah's.
That's
me and my wife went to Jonah's.
I'm going down to Peoria. I go, you going to Al's? He goes,
yeah.
I don't know.
Big L's.
Went to Jonah's last time with my wife, and the portions were so small. I was just like, you got to be shitting me. We left there after we ate and went directly to Long John Silver's, and we both sat there and was eating their whitefish or whatever it is that they slash out. But
I just remember the Rivermen.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're still around.
Well, Mike got trouble for that.
Chiefs,
and then we went down there for our basketball tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now they.
Oh yeah.
And we all got in trouble at the basketball tournament.
Yeah.
So I think every person in Hall High School got in trouble. Like if it wasn't the basketball team, it was like us.
Only lost one game.
Only lost one.
It was there.
Yeah. And then, but I remember being in a holiday in in Peoria somewhere.
You didn't play. You were just there as a fan and being weirdo.
Well, yeah, we were all down there, but all the guys came down, and we all got in trouble at the.
Actually, Peoria, Michael, the first concert we ever went to was at the Civic Center. You remember it?
38 Special.
Yes, 1982.
It was
who opened up for him?
It was
Jefferson Starship.
Hardcore bands at the time called.
No, Danny, it was not. It was not. Yeah, Toadies played at the Peoria Civic Center.
Oh, nice.
Toadies, yeah.
It was
nice.
The Toadies played at
Civ,
the Madison Theater.
Brutal Juice.
I think I was at that show, guys.
Were the headliners.
Okay,
you guys met Al back in the day.
What year?
We were at this show. My mom said out loud, she goes,
"What's that, Al?
What year was
go to Pearl Jam
90
this summer? It was 1995." And
no,
she goes, "You can't go."
That would
Yes,
have
it
been
was.
93 or 94.
No, it was 95. I was
No.
15. You were 14.
No.
Dude, Jimmy Thompson drove us. He was 16. I promise you. I have the ticket. I promise you, our next concert.
He had a
we
blue
went and saw
car.
Tonic and the Verve in 1996. I promise you. I was 15. We played. Toadies played at the Madison Theater, which is in like the scuzziest part of Peoria.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "It's okay that a 16-year-old will drive you down there and go to the shittiest part of Peoria."
Yeah.
What, Soldier Field to go see Pearl Jam where there's 40,000 people and nothing could happen? Nope, garbage. That you'll get murdered in Soldier Field. I'm like, if it was a Bears game, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But you're gonna let me go to this show. And we went to the show. We had a guy with us. He probably weighed 115 pounds, and he was standing by the door. And it was all ages show. And this guy got thrown out of the show.
The other,
not our buddy.
A
different guy got thrown out, and he was thrown through our friend. And we're like, "That's our buddy." And we're like, the guy was this monster of a human. Just goes, "What?" We're like, "You just threw a guy through the door, but our buddy was standing there." And he goes, "Oh, sorry." So the guy opens up the doors, grabs our buddy with one arm, holds back the drunk, like I'm 15 years old, and he holds back the drunk, and he goes, "You're out, you're in," shuts the doors. He goes, "Sorry about that, guys." There was a guy bashing apples on his fucking head. What are we watching? I'm like, so this is better than Pearl Jam? Like, how is this like a thing?
Peoria's a rough town.
I will say
And then-
that the
it was a good show. I mean, I
Kingdom by the Toadies is an underrated
It's a
90s
great record.
rock
Yeah,
record. If anyone wants to listen to it,
I like
They're
all
from
the Toadies
Texas.
albums.
Al, is 1980 too early for that concert?
1980?
Yeah.
Those guys, 1980 Toadies. Oh, sorry. I was like,
So, there's
for Toadies, those guys are like a couple years
There's a
older than us.
1980 concert, REO Speedwagon and 38 Special in Peoria. It's listed as at Bradley though.
Yeah.
Maybe
it
it got
wasn't Bradley, yeah.
I posted that.
I will say I've never seen a show.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Never
REO and 38 Special.
REO
Sounds
Speedwagon
like
played
the-
there a lot. I mean,
I
that's
saw that.
that
I saw that
line
one.
sounds like the creepy volleyball coach that got fired for being inappropriate with girls. Like
Wow.
REO Speedwagon and 38
Really?
Special. Like, what is going on?
Phil Powers. Is it Phil Powers?
Phil Powers. I brought up Phil Powers.
Yeah, Phil Powers.
I didn't find a 1995
There's only
Toadies
two other
concert.
people that would know. There was only one other person.
I
that would know.
found a 1996 Toadies concert in Peoria. It was Toadies, Sieve, and Brutal Juice.
Yeah, that's us.
That was it. That was well, I was 15. I think it was earlier.
Jesus, Luke.
Yeah, it was early 96.
I'm like, hey, here's my memory. It's my first. Like, nope.
You said
It gets
93,
worse as you
94.
get
Come on.
older.
Hey, you dick.
Mark,
It gets
And then,
worse as
hey,
you get
then
older.
we went and saw Luke. You're like this. We went and saw Tonic and the
I
Verve
didn't.
Pipe.
Nice.
I went and saw them.
I like both of
It's
those
the
movies.
same place.
Luke.
Like Tonic.
I'm an old man. I like to have my memories.
Hey,
And I knew it was at 93. You were like 10 at a concert. Like, what the fuck? Your mom was like, "That's fine. He can go with the fucking, Michael, who's 11, with the fucking 17-year-old boy down.
Oh,
the
you
fucking,
remember the summer? You remember the sun? No, it wasn't. It was actually December.
I think I was probably 10 or 11 when I saw Johnny Cash at the Shrine Mosque in Peoria. My dad took me and my
Tell
brother.
us
Yeah,
more about that.
that was a long
No,
time
you have to
ago.
listen to the Music Rewind episode where he talks about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm kidding. I just go.
Nicole,
I'm just
what
throwing-
was your first
It was
concert
good.
ever?
Oh, intentional or arbitrary?
Well, obviously,
Your first. Yeah.
yeah. What's the first concert that you were at that made an impact on you?
Oh,
I was very late to the concert game. I'm trying to remember what the first one might have been. It might have been I went to a free show in Chicago on the 4th of July, and it was with the headliner. It was John Mayer,
Oh, well,
Buddy Guy came out and played with him.
Oh my gosh.
But then
in Chicago then.
the two openers were Rodrigo y Gabriela and Robert Randolph Band, I think.
Oh, cool.
That would have been a great
Daniel,
one.
we were 100% living here, and we just didn't
that
go to
is.
the show.
That was a friend of mine from college was like, I know someone in Chicago. We can sleep on their floor. Want to go to this? So we hopped on the train.
We're in. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in. I'm there.
Yeah.
And say what you want about John Mayer, but that's a lineup of
He was awesome.
sure.
That guy could play, and then gosh, just to see.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we walked down and got to see the fireworks and stuff. And it was also the Taste of Chicago was going on that day as well. So Chicago was an absolute zoo. But best concert tip I had is bring an umbrella, because even in the sun, you stand there under your umbrella and it's like instant shade. It was amazing. We were out there for hours and hours too. But it was a great show.
I will say best concert tip for a like a festival is one of those water bottles can be water.
Right.
Water bottle. The best. It's a real quick story, and then I'm gonna step back. But it was a Pearl Jam 07 tour, and it was Lala, and my buddy and I, we went all day for the next couple, like all this, and we all had like the fake water vodka thing, and then Danny shows up and he goes, "Hey," it was like halfway through the set. Or it was like later in the day. He's like, I had to work, but I come in and he had water. And both were like, after him and I had been like smoked all day. It's like, I brought us water. And I was like, please tell me these are actual waters and not vodka. And we closed Grant Park down. And you ever have like a Chicago cop with a horse on a horse? Like say, I think it's time for you guys to leave, and we're like, the concert's over, man. We didn't even know.
Right.
Anyway, Rick, what's the first concert experience?
These are all true stories, Daniel.
For you that resonated.
Okay, well, I mean, the first real concert experience I had resonated in a really weird way. The first real concert I ever went to was a jazz concert. It was the Buddy Rich Band.
Oh wow.
Yep. It was not Buddy Rich himself. He had passed by that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in 8th grade, and this would have been like early 1991, maybe. I think it might have been December 1990. Mm-hmm. And it was really incredible. I remember their drummer, who was not Buddy Rich, but he was a stand-in, whoever he was, because they obviously had to have somebody to sort of
that could play that.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, and just being blown away by just kind of like I'll use a metaphor here, the size of the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
all encompassing. It's like an orchestra. When the first time you hear an orchestra, you're like, wow, because you're so used to kids' bands, orchestra, and then when you get to a real orchestra, it's like, oh man, that's a movement, Yeah. So, but yeah, that would have been cool. I really like him as a drummer. So on my Facebook, I have a lot of Buddy Rich's stuff because he was just incredible. It was just awesome drummer. Him and Neil Peart. Those are the guys that I put on the, I want to show people how good some of those guys were.
I can go get my Rush collection if you guys want to see that.
Yeah.
Here's a question I want to.
You have a Neil Peart scarf?
No, I don't think he wore those.
No.
Well, here's a question I wanted to ask too. Not only the first concert, but do you remember the first time that you were either in an audience or performing that you were like, well, for me, it was in an audience where it might have been like a 8th grade play. It might have been whatever, when you looked up at somebody and said, oh, that's what I want to do. or that connects with me.
I could take on that one, Danny.
You know what I mean? Like I remember seeing, high school or 8th grade plays when I was in the audience, and I honestly still remember the names of the people that were in those plays, who are now, in their 50s or whatever, who are all state
50, that's young.
Whatever,
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh man.
So Danny, back when I was young, went to a thing called a Score of Scores at Putnam County High School, and it was a medley of returning greatest hits of past students. I was young; I was probably 8 or 9, but what blew my mind was it started off with "Oh What a Beautiful Morning" from Oklahoma, and it was my Uncle Jack walking through the audience singing it, belting it. Jack Grazier. I had no idea. Apparently, he was a great singer. Number one, this is when I learned that my Uncle Jack is a good singer. But he was in Oklahoma back when he was in high school at Putnam County. Completely blew my mind. And then that's how the show started. And then it was just a great variety show showcase of some of the greatest hits. And it was, people that were middle-aged at that point, but still going back to their high school and singing songs they sung in high school. And it was fantastic. It really was. It was really neat. Singing South Pacific, other Rodgers and Hammerstein type stuff was at the time, but it was really awesome. That was like my first kind of sitting in the audience and seeing a show on the stage. It was really cool.
I was in 8th grade, and we did Annie, a Little Orphan Annie, and I sang bass even in 8th grade. So they said they put me out front, and then we had a boy that actually would sing really high, and we just did the music for it. Wasn't the play. We just did the songs from it at like an assembly, and I can remember doing that. And then we had a Christian rock band that I sang in for just two things. But what I think 1984, the Van Halen concert, that was when I had never heard anything that loud, and that was a great show, and I was like, that turned me on to going to more concerts and stuff like that. But that was probably, and seeing Eddie Van Halen, because I was already a huge fan of him, but just to see that, I'm like, wow, that would be something I'd want to do, So
absolutely,
that was changing. So I can play the drums like a drum machine. I'm not a drummer, natural. I got a cousin that's the drum tech for Kings of Leon, and my uncle, when I was growing up, was my hero. He taught me about motorcycles. Plus, he played drums in the Morton High School band, but then he still plays the drums for other local bands in the Peoria area. But I thought that was kind of cool to watch him, and I wanted to do everything that he did. So,
could we hear a rendition of Hard Knock Life, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I would
Just
belt
the
out
bass.
tomorrow, but you don't want to hear that. And
Right.
and these pipes,
Luke can
you
sing the
guys
high
probably don't know-
part.
I don't know if you heard like Don Dawkin, which you guys wouldn't even know who that is, but that was my voice sounded like that because my brother, who played the drums in the Christian band, says that's not my brother's voice coming out of him. So it's you reach in and you pull it out of you, and now I wouldn't be able to do that. I haven't practiced. I used to be able to hold my breath for like 4 minutes, so I could sit there and extend. We were talking about, was it the Guns N' Roses song where you find that the Axl Rose at the end of the song, they just kind of repeat it. I'm trying to remember the song that
You Could Be Mine.
Yeah, You Could Be Mine. I could sit there and do that, but then I could go for like another minute afterwards, and people are like, damn, they're like, okay, you could quit now. You could quit now. And was it the guy that did Steel Heart. He did the singing for Mark Wahlberg in the Rock Star. And I was working, I had a motorcycle shop, but I would also part-time be a security guard at a concert venue, and Steel Heart and Lynch Mob, George Lynch's group, played. And when he was practicing, he was singing, and then I sat there and sang as high as he did, but I went for a long time. So it's almost like the movie Rockstar, where the guy is in the audience and outdoes him. But then after that, I wasn't into that. My friends opened up for a couple bands that were there. I'm
crushed to think that Marky Mark didn't do his own singing.
Yeah,
I was more nervous that you're going to say something like, like Marky Mark had a stand-in for.
No,
one movie.
In the singing, he did.
Oh, Boogie Nights. Actually,
yeah, Boogie Nights. That was all me.
Actually, there's a funny thing. I was for speech class when I was at Northern Illinois. The guy did prosthetics, and he did all this stuff, and he flashed all like the different movies that he did prosthetics for, and like Boogie Nights came up.
Oh wow!
And everybody was kind of like, "I know what you're thinking. What prosthetic did I do?" And I was like, "Obviously his dick. Like, there's no way. Like, he just hung out like Tommy, like for everybody. Like, it's not. Is his
mom still on, or is she's watching?
My mom would agree, and she would laugh. Doug, I'll tell you what. If I were down in Peoria and my parents are down there, you meet my parents, you'll have the best time of your life with the two of them. They'll talk about the shit you'll never believe.
Well, my motorcycle shop was in Champaign, Illinois, and that was a college town, and that's where I would repair their scooters and all that, and motorcycles, and then I would take odd jobs. Whatever made money, I would do back then. Wait, I should put limitations on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever you do.
Nobody picked up on that? That was such an easy one.
I'm the only one that might have it said out loud.
You could have put, yeah, that's right. But
I'm an adult.
What's another topic throw out there? We're at the 2-hour mark. Do we want a new topic, or how's everyone feeling?
Danny, what were you gonna say? You had something.
We have been talking about if there was any performance or something that you were looking at from as you were a child.
Sure. If you're asking me,
you were Well,
my first concert was Billy Ray Cyrus.
I just want to.
So I was not inspired. Actually, my mom said I fell asleep at the concert. So
I can see that.
I was
after Achy Breaky Heart. What was up?
That was it. Yeah, that was 6. I was 6 years old. Peoria Civic Center, and she said I fell asleep in the chair. So.
But if there was there anything where you were, like high school play or anything like that, where you were just like, I want to do that, or you just always had.
I've always loved music. Very young age. My mom got me one of those Fisher-Price record players, and she's got pictures going of me staring at it.
Those are the best.
Yes, I remember those.
That was the fucking best thing. I love those record players.
But when I actually, and this is going to sound cheesy, but when I actually fell in love with music was my first Pearl Jam concert. Like actual love, obsession, and I know you guys feel the same.
Which tour was that?
Riot Act 2003. But I mean, I was.
We were at the same show too.
Yep.
But Luke, that's the best thing about this podcast is it's not cheesy.
Yep.
No, it's not. I would say like I wish I had when I was a kid, like my parents always played music on the records, and I could still hear my mom. Like it's so funny, like when I'm playing records, like vinyl, and my wife like hits it, and I'm like, because I'm waiting for my mom to go, God damn it! Don't run around the table! You're fucking knocking the skip of the needle. And like I could still hear that, like when I was a kid, to hear that. And I don't know, there's something about music. And I went to all the places. I'm obviously I never got to I was never talented enough to like be on like stages and stuff, or like act in anything, or like sing, because I have no voice. It's a curse. I remember every lyric ever, but I have no tone. I can't sing worth a shit. I mean, I've seen Danny like in plays, and I've seen other people in plays, and I used to go to plays. My mom's like, we're gonna go see Jesus Christ Superstar. And I will say one of the greatest musicals of all time is Jesus Christ Superstar. Number 2 was like Joseph and Midnight Dreamcoat. Like those are things that like I love to hear those people sing. And my parents took us to Chicago to go see Joseph, and it was awesome to see that. But like I didn't care about like that type of music. It was great, and I appreciate it, and it's very uplifting. It's gorgeous, but like to me, like I want to hear like guitar rock, like guitar, bass, drums, and to me that was always like the stuff that like my parents like gave me, but they're like, no, don't worry about it. And but I've always want to listen to something like new, and I always want to find something new, because in my mind, there's always a song maybe that's out there that is my favorite song that I've never heard yet.
Sure.
So I want to hear all the new stuff that's out. And if I have to go back, and I'm a nerd with my spreadsheets that goes through like stacks of years and just listens to all the albums, because there might be that one song that I didn't hear. Now, I don't know if it's ever going to be better than Tangerine from Led Zeppelin. I don't know. Like, that's my favorite song of all time. I don't know if it's going to be better than that, but I want to find out if it's out there, because music, I can't play it. I've tried. I'm small elf hands, so I can't like do too much. and I just told my wife, I was like, I'm going to go to the Old Town School of Music in Chicago and learn how to play drums, because I have energy, and I have hands, and I can do this. So I was like, fuck, maybe I'll try to learn, how to play drums. But I have a guitar sitting here. I've tried multiple times. I used to have Danny's guitar in my dorm room for years, because he lent it to me. He's like, yeah, you'll figure it out. I did. But like music to me is like, and I've always said this, and I think I said it in like the first episode I had with Steve. It's the only time machine we have. That's it. That's the only time machine. It could take you from, if I listen to a Beatles record, I'm in 1965. Listening to Taxman, or the first time somebody puts that needle down when they hear it. It's the only thing that can make you go to a place that you've never been. Yeah. And it's a place that makes you want to go someplace else. And I promise you, I'm not on any gummies tonight. But I'm very transcendent. I that's how I feel about life. Like, I don't know, like we're all in a thing, whatever. But it's just, it makes you to not have music in your life, or not like music, or like sound like that, is bananas to me. Like, I've heard somebody say like once in my life, oh, I didn't really like music. I'm like, how the fuck do you not like music? Like, how, like anything? Like, you don't like anything? Like, there's nothing that you like? Like, even like Gregorian chants, or like, like Christian rock, or like somebody like just singing like my wife sings all the time, and it's always show tunes, and it's always Les Mis, it's always Oklahoma. She was in Oklahoma, and she loves Les Mis. It's her favorite thing in the world, and we're going in February to see it in Chicago. Her mind is blown. Like, she's never seen like a professional group ever do Les Mis.
It's pretty awesome.
And Steve, I'll be honest with you, I'm the guy who thought Wolverine. I was like, I didn't know Wolverine could sing. And she's like, I didn't. She goes, he was doing that. And no shit. This is what she said. She goes, I didn't know who the fuck. I go, he's Wolverine. I go, that guy is fucking Wolverine. Like,
my son just saw Hugh Jackman in The Music Man
Yeah.
Was in it last year. My wife took him to. My son is a burgeoning theater kid and actor, so he's on that path. And so my wife took him up for his birthday last year to Broadway and saw Hugh Jackman in The Music Man, and it blew his mind. Loved every minute of it.
That I was going to say that would definitely be that moment that we were talking about for a kid to see.
He still talks about it.
Hugh Jackman, yeah.
Steve, have you shown him the monorail episode for The Simpsons? Because that is the ultimate Music Man, like.
Well, to me, because he's in several musicals, and he's also doing TVs and commercial stuff, and so I told him that who you just saw, and we watched X-Men 1 and 2. It was like, that's the same guy. And then we watched Tick Tick Boom, and with Andrew Garfield playing Jonathan Larson, and then we watched the most recent Spider-Man movie. Like, see, buddy.
Yeah,
he's Spider-Man too. You can be an amazing singer and actor and stage, and you could be a freaking superhero acting. And so he's got that bug.
Does he want to work out 15 hours a day to look like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine?
If he has the Epley genes, he will be in peak physical forever. It's just
if you can get him to dance, then he's the triple threat.
Well, maybe my question. Or maybe my question is more innocent than that, because I was not able to see Hugh Jackman in a big Marvel movie. I was, I was only able to see an actor on stage, even if they were a senior and I was a junior. You know what I mean? Sure. Or to me, the cover band, Michael, that we saw. The Craigs or Rosemary blew my mind as much as
that is true, Dan. Because think about that, like our parents
were playing Sabotage on your Fender.
Yeah,
you're going, oh, this is all it is, and I'm like, blew my mind.
I mean, the fact that they let us go down there as like an all ages show when we were that young.
Well, so Nicole, was there something where you? I guess to try to bring it back to my original question, was there somebody where you're like, this is what I needed to listen to, or what I need? Who was that band or that person or that?
Actually, I want to.
Danny, if she says the Cranberries, don't ruin the fucking.
I want to intervene.
I know she is, but it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Like I've done Nirvana, I've done Sunny Day Real Estate, but.
I want to intervene here. So
yes.
Nicole has one of the most beautiful voices I've heard in person. We've recorded songs together.
Oh my god!
We have a band and we never play anywhere.
Yep, we've recorded multiple songs together, but her voice in person, like I said, I Nora Jones, I can name many. Adele, female singers, but Nicole in person, it makes the hair stand up on your neck.
Amazing.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you might have to pull that out of her on her episode, Steve.
Oh, you can't stop me from singing some Cranberries clips. Like
please know I wasn't trying to downplay any of your talent. I was just,
No, not at all. I just wanted to throw that out there. That if we're talking about in-person experiences, Nicole has a gorgeous voice, and she sings at her church, and she sings with our imaginary band.
Yes.
Well, one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard,
Luke Boris,
Rick Hansen, who's down here.
Oh. Nice.
Oh wait,
I was being sarcastic, but hey, we've got an actual.
Yeah, you guys should. Yeah, oh my gosh!
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, I don't believe I've ever met the two of you before. You're very tiny on my screen right now, but I'm always excited to collaborate.
You need to bust out the guitar. We need to hear something.
Oh.
We need to hear some Master of Puppets.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Ooh, there you go.
That's going to be real hard at this hour, but
all right.
Yeah, it was like, do not wake your daughter up.
So Rick, you'll find Luke on the Radiohead in Rainbows album and our episode and the Who Quadrophenia.
And Milli Vanilli, Girl, You Know It's True.
Awesome.
Always a classic.
And Rick, Rick, you
Nicole
might
and I
know
haven't
me
recorded
from,
yet.
Our grandparents' backyard,
Yep.
and my parents' house and Danny's house.
But honestly, I want to hear, like, Nicole, is there something that started you on your path to want to play, to want to perform? Was it?
I was a very, very shy kid, but encountered music in church, and that kind of like was always around. But like when I heard Dolores O'Riordan's voice, like when I was about 12 or so, that was a major connection. And I'd credit her with, like, she's one of my first music teachers, like vocal teachers, I would say. And but going back to like falling in love with music and music being around, I was a tavern kid. So my parents and my grandparents, like after we'd go out for dinner on the weekend or whatever, we'd stop at the local, it's been tore down now, but it was the oldest liquor license in the state of Illinois, I believe. It's called Shots. Or
I
Gillis,
thought that was called West End Tap.
or Gillis Tap is the official name, but everyone just called it Shots. And it's this tiny little dive bar. I can still smell it in my, like, burned into my brain. But they would just give me quarters. They're like, go play on the jukebox. And I would like stand on a chair and just my face in the jukebox, just looking at all the different,
What did you
singers.
play back then?
Hey, was it a flip? Was it like one of those flip ones? Like it flipped?
I don't think that one was a flip one, but I would play Crazy by Patsy Cline because the bartender, she loved that one. I would play Love Shack. That was one of my jams.
Yeah.
And I would play Little Richard. I'd play, I think, Dolly Parton. There's, just, and it was probably songs. I don't think that thing had been updated in a couple of years. But yeah, and I'd be on the jukebox, just like arms rested on the glass. And they just keep.
I know the one that you're talking about then, that like, it's like the big.
It's always fun to find a jukebox back in the day that was stuck in time, that hadn't been updated in a good 10 years.
The A&W in East Peoria, I'd always play Fats Domino, Ain't That a Shame?
There you go.
Or Blueberry Hill.
My
I would
dad's favorites.
pick those, That's the A&W Long John Silver's in East Peoria.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If they want to send us some coupons or sponsor us.
They should.
Because I've mentioned them twice.
God, I remember going to both of those places a lot as a kid. Long John Silver's, do they still have it where they have like a dock that you walk out on to go?
Not in East Peoria, but I do remember when that was a popular thing.
Yeah.
The one in Pekin had a dock, and same with A&W. There was a drive-in, Cranwell's.
Oh yeah, Cranwell's.
And
Cranwell's is still around.
It is.
They sold it. The family sold it just a couple years ago. But yeah, every weekend we'd go there after the drag races from Havana, and the owner was really cool. He'd always give my kids the little stuffed A&W root beer bears and stuff like that because we were every weekend thing back then.
Nicole, what got you from playing the jukebox to wanting to sing? Is that
Dan? You're taking away Steve's fucking questions. What are you doing?
No, I'm out of questions. You guys are on.
Steve, write these down and rerun them.
Steve has left the building.
Hey, Steve, I'm sorry, but like when we have when me and Danny have our podcast, like obviously we know who the question guy is. Like he's gonna be.
I'm just really invested in what she had to say, and I wanted to hear the end of it. Is that so bad?
I think I really fell headlong more into music in college and after college. I think when you start being more aware of it and you're tying those things to events in your life and yeah, like seeing
So what-
some things, seeing
what-
music
What
live as
music
well.
is in your college, or you know what I mean? What do
Coldplay. I was a big Coldplay fan. Early Coldplay. I call it old play.
Well, the first two Coldplay records are.
Oh my gosh. So I saw them as a college graduation gift to myself. I saw them in 2008 on their Viva La Vida tour. But when they played Politic's one of my favorite songs of theirs. When they played that live, it was amazing. It was just radiating all the way through. Me and my friend who went, and when we were driving home and we popped the CD in, we were like, how do we go back to listening to music on media? Like seeing it live and feeling it just radiating through your bones.
Yeah, floor shaking. You can
Yeah,
feel the bass in
you're
your
like,
chest.
you're literally feeling
So
your rib
true.
cage.
So true.
And I've been to.
And that's
several...
how Pearl Jam is. Like it, like
you feel
can
it.
Shit talk them all you want, but seeing those guys live, it's one of the greatest fucking things you could ever see. I know, Rick. I know what you think, but I'm telling you, seeing those guys live in an entire place.
They rank right up there with Creed.
I saw them, and the whole time I was just thinking, I hope Eddie Vedder's head explodes. Come on, just die. Drop dead now. I've had enough of this. I apologize to all of you fans out there, but that's my take on Pearl Jam. And yeah, it was in 95, the Vitalogy tour. It was one of the worst concerts.
He was still like a grump. He's such a fuck.
Well,
the first half of that fucking band, he's such a grumpus. It's so like, my life is so the worst, and I have to.
Let me throw this question at y'all. So, what is a concert that you've been to where halfway through you're like, "This is terrible. I want out." Where's my exit?
Sunbolt.
Sunbolt.
Sunbolt at the Vic Theater in Chicago. Danny and I looked at each other. What it was like half hour into it, and I go, "Are we seriously going to listen to this shit the whole time?" And he goes,
and I'm so into like,
and he loves fucking, and I think Sunbolt's good. And two of us just go, wow, and we walk.
Mine was Bon Jovi, "Slippery When Wet" tour. And
really?
Yes.
Oh fuck! I would love to see that.
Dude, they wore that album out. He had some kind of throat problem, and we were going to be at the beginning of the tour, but it was towards the end of the tour, and I had a girlfriend that really loved Bon Jovi, so I got tickets. And by the time it came around, Cinderella opened for him, and I did not know who Cinderella was.
Oh, Cinderella's rap.
They kicked ass.
Oh yeah.
And when Bon Jovi was out, played for a while, and he just thought he was better than anything. And my girlfriend turns to me, she goes, "This is kind of boring." And I said, "Yeah." And
I would still rather see Bon Jovi.
The last couple songs, Cinderella came back out, and instead of being in their costumes, they were in their shorts, and one of them didn't even have he had socks on, he didn't even have shoes on, and they came out and they did
knee-high
white roll band and a couple songs.
Did he have like white socks on? Like he was like,
yeah, like white, yeah.
Hey, those are popular now. Those are popular now.
Yeah, that was popular then. You know, you might have two colored bands on the top of it, but those guys came out and saved the concert.
I know. I look at all the pictures of me when I was a kid in the 80s. I know
exactly.
Yeah, but all that shit is popular.
You know, the bass player had this hairdo, it looked like a freaking palm tree. You know, massive amounts of hair, and
all of those bald guys, Doug had the same hairdo, and that's why we are bald now.
No,
back in the 80s, I had a perm. I had a perm. It looked like a lion's mane, and then you take a little mousse and slide it on the side,
like a Jeff Lynne sort of perm.
Hair.
I looked like I was Neil Peart from Boston in the 70s. Big old fro. You know,
my uncle was a drummer in a local band called Joe Rader, and he had the perm look for a while, I think, in the 80s, and he looked like Lionel Richie.
Me and my brother got perms. That was big news at the school. The Brinkler boys got their hair done. You know what I mean? And
Rick,
Yeah,
by
but
the
that
way,
was the style.
Nicole mentioned her uncle. So Michael and I want to start a podcast talking about, Illinois
Illinois
musicians,
bands.
Oh,
and
nice.
Alan is our guy.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
did.
He's gonna be our first. He's gonna be our first interview.
I had a friend. They had the band rated Rated X, and I did the lights and the smoke and stuff for them. But they just played local stuff. And then
Oh,
when I
Danny, don't
was
worry.
running
We're gonna have
the
Al
military-
and Doug, and then
We could
like
loop
when
coming
we.
back like a fucking.
Hey, what the best part is, Danny, when we have to talk about like Chicago blues, we're just gonna go, hey.
No, I didn't say
We're just
blues.
gonna
I
push
said-
right over. No, I'm talking about.
Well, no. If you're going to
Illinois.
have Chicago blues, you're going to need
We're
to have
gonna-
on my
I'm just gonna
future
go, like,
guest.
you need to
Yeah.
listen to the Music Rewind because we are not going to touch it because you have
It's a
the
good
guy.
episode. That's coming up. So, yeah.
Oh.
Danny and I are just going to talk to we're going to talk about
The
like,
problem with it, Mike, is that
Okay.
you guys have been talking about starting this podcast for about 2 years now.
we've been talking, Steve. We've been talking about doing something like this for 15, 20 years.
Well,
What's the
locally in
premise?
Peoria, I wish.
What's the premise?
I have
what's
a-
about?
So wait, time out. So the premise, Doug, was we wanted to talk to. We're from Central Illinois,
Yeah.
so talk to local musicians.
Yeah.
Al, you'll like this.
But I'm not a musician though. I
No,
mean,
no. But
about I can
there
talk
is
about.
it's very rich in bands that have either gone on to play somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Didn't.
Well,
Rick, you
Mudvayne-
talking about like with your, Alan, who went on to play, or he played with people that went on, and there's guys that played with Cheap Trick and all that kind of stuff. It was basically people that played in bands from the late or the mid 60s to the late or early 90s that have been in bands, whether they went on to do something or didn't. But
Well, Gary Riffraff from REO Speedwagon.
Yeah,
was,
REO is Champagne, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The band's Enough's Enough. Donnie
And-
B.
Yeah, I love those guys.
We grew up with guys that played in a band called Loud Lucy that were on DGC records that opened up for Alanis Morissette. That were there's just a bunch of bands.
Well, you've heard of Mudvayne, and it ended up being Hell
Yeah.
Yeah. They were with.
I love.
Yeah,
it.
they're
I
from
think they're
Pekin,
great.
and that
Yep.
area.
Yeah, I think I talked about the story of how I saw those guys in the VFW halls, the local
Exactly.
VFW
Yeah,
halls
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
So that our idea was to
Taxi War Dance and Mudvayne.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
Texas War Dance. Their van was around all the time.
Okay.
Used to see that. running
Luke's
around
got the
there.
hookup with Gary Horry.
Yeah, Gary played with Hot Action Cop.
Yeah.
They were on a few.
See, Dan, I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
We got it. Steve doesn't know that we're expanding the Music Rewind, like the
The
side
spin-off
wheel.
podcast.
Remember
So-
the
so-
you just have to,
Megasonic?
you just have to
Al?
put up with Michael's voice.
So the Fisher Price
People like my voice, Dan.
Oh, the record player.
record player that I was talking about. This was the album that I always used to play.
bleach.
Oh,
California Raisins. I still have the.
Oh man,
Look at the hits.
Dude,
Heard it
I
through the
think-
grapevine.
Have you looked up? Have you
Lean on
looked up
Me.
to see how much that's worth?
It's probably worth something. It's
Because I
19
think I saw somewhere that
1987.
I
Oh.
have those.
I'm
I played-
Chicago Party Ant. Danny.
No, I
That's
have
who I am.
the action figures.
Hardy's?
A little, yeah, Hardy's.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Hardy's action figures. Yeah.
yeah.
Nicole,
Yep.
did you say the same thing? Did you guys all have those?
We all did.
I
yeah.
still
We all
have
all
them.
the same age.
And the lips. Al, if you could see this, I doubt you can see it on video. This is I treated this like probably the Fisher Price. This is horrible. This is the worst record I've ever seen. It
well, you
looks
can
like
imagine the quality of the needle.
I did find my
Yeah.
Star Wars. I found my Star Wars
It was
album.
a sharpened
Was it a sewing needle?
it was.
It was
Yeah.
a sharpened nail.
I wish I could show you guys. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
It was like an 8-penny nail with a point sharpened on
You
it. So
put
it
four
played music.
quarters on the needle to keep it from bouncing off the thing.
Exactly.
So
But I think there's like a Luke snot finger on here from
geez.
5 years old.
Neat.
That's worth
You
something.
couldn't
right?
find a Kleenex, so you used the record. Like,
You just didn't lick it off? Come on.
I did not. But yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, lean on me, stand by me. You can't hurry love. Heartbreak Hotel.
Classics. Oh.
Yeah.
When a man loves a woman, respect, La Bamba, sweet, delicious.
It's selling.
Marvelous,
It's
and
selling on
Moni
eBay.
Moni.
Hey, that's selling on eBay. You want to give it a guess, Luke?
Not this one.
$86.
99 cents right here.
$12.
Mint condition, $26.
There you go.
Oh, I thought it would be more.
How about
Is there an album that you discovered that was copied on tape for you that you didn't know? That they just said, "Hey, here's a cassette," or "I think you would like this."
I've got so many tapes that my
42nd
dad
Street
recorded.
from Billy Joel.
I know I'm aging us a little bit. Sorry. Go ahead, Steve. 82nd
I'll say
Street.
42nd Street from Billy Joel. I raided my dad's cassettes sometime in the 80s and started pillaging them. And it was I thought it was a mixtape, but it was actually the album of 42nd Street, and it was one of my early intros into Billy Joel, as far as not the songs you don't hear on the radio constantly, the background songs. So the deeper tracks. So that's one that, and there were songs cut off on each side, just like with Rick's Master of Puppets. Yeah. But that was that right off the bat, say 42nd Street. That's came right to me.
Nice.
My dad's were mostly mixes. He would take pieces from different albums. So Eagles, Van Morrison. He was a big fan of the Motown movement as well.
Nice.
So I mean, but yeah, again, it was mostly greatest hits type stuff that he would splice.
Anything that you heard for the first time that you got on a mix?
Oh, all of it.
You fell in love with?
I remember riding in his car, listening to all of it when I was 5 years old. Now, I remember, I just have very vague, blurs, but I've still got them all over here in my chest here, so I could pop them in. Well, I shouldn't say that. I gave my tape player to Nicole, so I can't listen to them anymore, but I will always hold on to those because he created them. So yeah.
I think somebody handed me Overkill, which was a thrash band from New York or something. Yeah, that was pretty cool because they knew I was into other that kind of music, and they said, "Hey, listen to this." So I had that for a while. If I remember right, I only had like one side of the speakers worked on that tape. So whenever he taped it off, it wasn't in stereo, but they were a pretty good thrash band.
Oh, they're a great thrash band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Danny, did you and Mike get into Pearl Jam early enough to be in the club where they would mail tapes of concerts?
No, we got in.
I was going to say the fan club definitely had that going.
I will say this about Pearl Jam. I remember being in his room and he had 10. And I said, just fucking record me the fucking songs on that are the videos. I'm like, I don't really give a shit what the rest of this sounds like. I'm just record the video songs. And he did, and he recorded me those songs. And like I was kind of like, I didn't really care about Jeremy. And Alive and Even Flow were kind of cool. But I was like, I don't really care about the rest of this shit, because I really did, and I know it's kind of hard to believe, I really did like Nirvana more than Pearl Jam, and not as much as Danny did later. Not as much as Danny is like Danny did, but I liked them, but I didn't get a like.
Hey Mike, do you know what band put a DVD out with all their music videos on it so you could put it in and watch the videos? Do you know what band that was? Yeah, that was
U2.
Creed. Creed did that. Yeah, you can watch every one of their videos that
Have
they
you
have.
ever watched them all high? They are amazing because they are the most.
Anyway,
If you're following along on our Creed drinking game challenge
Yeah,
for
that's
this
right.
night's
I
episode,
will say that
you're
like,
now passed out on the floor, and we'll see you next time.
and there's my wife.
I
No
will
more with
say,
the chlorophyll.
can I go back to will say the band that I found strictly by a mixtape that I got was a band called Sebado. Dinosaur Jr., Lou Barlow's
Jay Mascis, is that?
band. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Jay was the lead singer of, or he was the architect of Dinosaur, and then Lou was the bass player, and then his band was Sebado. And I got it. The Neighbors, they had a band, and they gave me a mixtape, and they said, "Look at this, or listen to this in your Walkman." And it was like half song. I had no idea what it was, and it blew my mind. Absolutely loved it. And it was one of those things where it was intimate. It was confessional. The bass playing was obviously, now I know, was phenomenal, but I had no idea at the time. And it was something that I had never heard of before. And I loved it. And that's where I wanted to go with that. Oh, whoa.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Is that the one you were looking for, Al?
Yeah, that's still one of the coolest covers I think I've ever seen.
It's very Sgt. Pepper-esque.
Yeah, right.
Sonic
Who is it?
producer, Pearl Jam. 98,
Okay.
the 98 10 Club single.
Apparently everything is going to revolve around Pearl Jam. So Nicole,
But that's
Nicole,
I
Rick,
didn't say
what are you
anything.
guys' thoughts
Yeah,
about
Danny, I
all
want to.
action figures.
No. time
Oh
out.
no, Danny, I want to go. I want to mention
Time out.
a band.
Rick first. What does he think about Pearl Jam? And then Nicole second. And we'll just get all of the way.
Yeah.
Well,
you want me to go first? Eddie Vedder is the voice that ruined the 90s.
There you go.
I
I like their first.
Quiet, just let him talk.
Yeah.
I respect their musicianship.
Mhm.
I respect his talent. I respect that from a technical standpoint, he's a far better singer than I could ever hope of being. But there's something about the combination and the aesthetic that just always jarred with me. And then the whole, like, you know, I don't know the best way to put this, but basically there's Bono complex. But at least in the 80s
he doesn't have that anymore.
Hey Rick, you know the
He
difference.
doesn't.
Hey Rick, you know the difference between Jesus Christ and Bono? Bono wasn't walking around Christian. Wait. Oh, sorry. Bono isn't walking around Ireland saying that he's Jesus Christ.
Who's looking for your joke writer? Who's looking over there? Your joke?
I'm sorry. My wife came down. Sorry.
Like all of a sudden you're like, hold on, I got this joke, but SNL, like, let me look at the cue card real quick.
Wait for it. Yeah, so those are the best jokes. Wait for it.
So that's been my opinion. I liked Bugs.
Bugs is a great song.
That's your favorite Pearl Jam song is
Yeah,
Bugs?
I love Bugs.
All right,
Give me some Bugs.
No,
we'll be quiet.
But go talk to me. We'll have you on the show, Rick, but we're not going to talk about Pearl Jam.
Do I eat them raw or well done?
Yes.
I can go through the whole
All the
lyric if you need me to. Yeah.
Whole thing.
We have seen Bugs live, Daniel.
So have I. Wrigley.
All right. I'm gonna shut up. Listen to Rick.
Okay, sorry.
I was that's probably the basis of my opinion. Nicole, did you want to chime in on that? Or?
Any information I have about Pearl Jam is from that man right there.
Oh, so he's on our side.
They're okay. They are not my favorite. I own none of their albums. I think I like the song Light Years. I remember I bought that one.
Light Years is
that
beautiful.
single.
Yes, binaural.
But it is not they're not my jam. Pearl Jam is not my jam.
And they're not a lot of people jam.
I respect them. I respect their talent.
In the last like 15, 20 years of being a fan, I don't really fucking care what other people think. Like I used to be so like, oh my God, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to hear negative stuff. Now I'm just like, I don't fucking care, man. I'm too old to give a shit if somebody doesn't like my band anymore. Like,
do you think it's the same way as other bands? Like we were talking about Rolling Stones before,
or Creed?
No, that's not even the same conversation.
But if we were talking about, nobody would argue with. Maybe no one would argue with the Beatles, or maybe no one would argue with Nirvana because their catalog is so short and definitive.
Nirvana's got some shitty
Pearl
songs,
Jam
so.
is 25 years in, or records or whatever. Do you think that is a reason for it? Or
No,
you've never. Nope. Okay, Rick, go ahead.
They lost me right away.
Yeah, go ahead. Please. That's why I brought it up.
I first heard. I mean, I was 14 in 1991, so I was the prime corporate target of the grunge mechanism, right? And I remember the first time I saw the video for Alive, like when it first aired on MTV, and like I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cool guitar riff, and then that fucking voice.
I liked Even Flow. I mean, we're close to the same age then. I liked Even Flow, and then from that,
yeah.
Well, Rick, I guess I would say, I mean, did you like
what?
Did you like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden?
Okay.
Did you like everybody else? I guess.
Yeah, but those are different bands, Mike.
No, they're
really
all
are.
different
They really
bands.
are.
Of course, they're all different bands.
Soundgarden.
But I'm just saying.
I liked Soundgarden, and
yeah, they were never my jam. Like I like out of that mix, I probably would say Alice in Chains' first album, Facelift, and then some is Soundgarden, like right up to Bad Motorfinger, maybe not even that as much as some of the.
Oh, that's one of my favorite albums.
I was gonna say,
I will say
Motorfinger.
I will say this, like fucking Chris Cornell's voice.
Whoa,
yeah, he was awesome.
The greatest fucking vocals.
Yeah,
Michael, you have to admit those Soundgarden SST records.
But that's not Chris Cornell's like pure voice.
No. But what Rick is saying, those are above and beyond anything that.
But those are more like the underground, like.
Well, when they did that Hunger, what was it with the
Hunger Strike,
Pearl Jam, and Hunger Strike.
Temple of the Dog.
That was great. And Pearl Jam, I like the instruments. I like the musicianship of it. But Eddie Vedder, I guess it would be the same as Creed. Some people don't like Scott Staff's.
Scott Stapp doesn't have a job without Eddie Vedder.
That's true.
he doesn't. And the guy's in the fucking
singing.
Craig
Craig
Kroger or whatever the fuck his name is from Nickelback doesn't have a job without Eddie Vedder either.
Yeah.
And Aaron Lewis from Stain. A lot of these guys don't have jobs without him.
Ergo,
because everything was all high pitched. Everything was like in the 80s was all high pitched.
Exactly.
Everything was like. And then these guys were like, "Oh, I guess we could sing."
Yeah, but Rick, wouldn't you say that? What's his name from the Cult?
Ian Astbury.
Ian Astbury had
he was awesome.
Voice. Beautiful. Yeah. I love his voice.
Yeah, he
I
was
love
awesome.
it too. And I think that's what Eddie was trying to emulate.
He didn't come close.
No, I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was just a register up.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Well, and Ian Ashbury, he was playing with the Doors. He was singing with the Doors after.
Eddie Vedder fucking. By the way, sang Three Doors songs when they inducted the Doors. So
yeah, but you're really close to saying Three Doors Down. So shut up, Mike.
Come on, that guy's a good singer.
But that's kind of what I meant by the voice that ruined the '90s, and I think it's not quite as simple as a register of everything in the '80s was high, because I mean. Hetfield, Tom Araya, Dave Mustaine. There were growlier vocals, but I think it's the way in which Eddie Vedder kind of combined high pitch with growly just rubs my ear the wrong way in like the worst way possible.
Is it?
I
Would
can understand that.
Would it be safe to say that? I know you say it's a voice that ruined the 90s.
Yeah.
It's something that he tried out the first time. Because, I mean, grunge, for lack of a better term, was classic rock and punk combining together.
With metal.
Right. All of that together. I've talked about this before, where like Nirvana is a different beast altogether because that was Cheap Trick and that was punk and that was whatever.
A lot of those other bands like those bands.
Yeah, but so
like Kurt Cobain's not the only person ever like, oh my god, I'm the first person ever like punk and like pop.
No, I'm not saying
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand what Rick's saying about as far as the voice and it's not clicking because like when he says that, to me that type of band is Rage Against the Machine.
They don't
love the band. I can't stand the lead singer. It ruins damn near every song for me. But I love Audio Slave. Audio Slave's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I could literally hear Chris Cornell.
Yeah, just sing a fucking phone book. Let's be honest about it. Yeah.
This is a strange thing too that all of the great grunge singers except Eddie Vedder are dead.
Yeah, he's the last one.
Yeah, I think a lot of it. Well,
Lane wasn't like the best.
You could always have.
I will say.
We give too much credit to Lane Staley.
Maybe
the guy didn't write anything. Like, to be fair, like fucking. Did we all forget about Jerry Cantrell in that band? I always think everybody forgets about the guy who wrote all the songs, all the guitars. All they did was fucking prop up that fucking drug addict. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be an asshole.
That voice.
But like, they propped him up to fucking sing. And when
they sing together, though,
I'm just saying they sounded great together, but all of a sudden, like, we always forget about fucking Jerry Cantrell.
No,
that guy's fucking way more Alice in Chains than fucking Lane Staley.
He orchestrated. He kept the machine running, but like Cantrell's voice. I mean, I always go back to the Allman Brothers for this. Cantrell's voice.
Thank you.
It's the Dickie Betts voice.
Yes.
And Staley is the Dwayne Allman voice.
Yes.
I agree with that.
That's fine. I'm just saying we give so much credit to fucking Lane.
Well, just growing up in Seattle, with all that rain and stuff, you're gonna be down. I mean, you're gonna do drugs. You're gonna commit suicide. So it's really amazing that Eddie's still around,
still alive. Yeah,
it's because he's from San Diego.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Good point, Al. That's why he's living.
Best voices, Rick. When you were talking about Eddie starting that, is Lanigan. Mark Lanigan from Screaming Cheese had that voice way before Eddie did, and he was on SST, and he had the big voice. I think Eddie was not emulating. I think he was unique in his own way of sounding like it, but he wasn't the first one to not be 80s showman, if you will.
No,
high pitch.
Because a lot of people in the 80s
guys
had to see if they could hit that vocal high.
Yeah, but it was
always about like.
Yeah, but
like,
it wasn't.
How high could you hit it? Bon Jovi, fucking.
No, but it wasn't.
But you
and there's only one guy that did it. I think we'll all go.
Brian Adams.
When I say this out loud,
like
there's
Brian
only
Adams.
one guy that sounded grungy, and when he sang and he hit that high pitched voice, that was all I'm saying is
we're out of time.
That was Axl Rose. Like Axl Rose.
Axl's in a whole other
right, but I'm saying he like. Obviously, he is a fucking vocal cord.
No,
range
he's in a whole other.
Yeah,
but everybody else sounded like the whole time. That's all they did.
Anyone could emulate a sound. No one could be an originator or bring passion or something else to it. It's very easy to mimic or copy a guitar tone or a lyric, but if you're going to be the first one to ever do it, no. And
Steve, there's your lull, Steve.
Yeah, there's my lull to kind of throw it out there that I would kind of need to wrap this up here. It's
I get it.
it's a little after midnight for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
Does anybody have any final words to
Shannon Hoon is my final 2 words.
Hey. All right.
That first record is, and he's on Use Your Illusion.
Yes, he is.
He's Axel's cousin. Hey.
Yeah, he is. He's on Use Your Illusion. He sings the backup vocals.
Don't cry.
Yeah. And wasn't he
know that?
He was in the video.
The first
he is on. He is.
And Axel dated his sister.
Yeah.
But
do you
not know that.
I don't even know what
Axel
it
dated his cousin.
I did not know that. Yeah.
Axel dated
because I thought
sister.
Shannon was his cousin. I'm confused.
No, I think Axl Rose dated Shannon Hoon's sister.
Okay, so that's
okay.
That's
That's better because you originally said Axel was Shannon Hoon's cousin, and then you're like he dated his sister.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So,
I didn't.
That's a straight line.
I don't remember saying it. I don't remember saying that they were cousins. Did I say that? Let's rewind.
It's late.
Let's rewind.
We've been talking for almost 3 hours. We're good. We're good.
This is a great episode, by the way. This is going to go down in history.
Good luck making this sound like.
All I can say, I still think fucking that band's overrated. I'm sorry.
Oh, Creed.
Blind.
Yeah.
Blind Melon. I think everybody thinks the only reason that they think that it's so good because the guy died. Fuck you. He had like an album and a half, maybe worth of shit. I'm sorry.
Soup is a great record.
Absolutely.
Great fucking band.
So is Nico, which was all demos. And the band just came
Blind
in and
Melon is
recorded
a
it.
great band. I wouldn't put it over the
Next live stream we'll dive into overrated bands. Our thoughts, that's
U2.
Shelf.
U2 is overrated.
Yes.
Oh, I think we all agree on that
favorite
one.
band, Creed or 311.
Save it.
Next
Hey, Amber's the
next
color
live
man.
stream, no mentions of Creed, no mentions of Lip
Please?
Biscuit.
You better come original.
Instead of a swear jar, you guys should have a Creed jar.
There you
Yes.
go.
What about
Nicole
the
gets
Pearl
it.
Jam jar?
Nicole, we've been talking about
Pearl
Creed
Jam
for like
got
2
more
years.
mentions of Creed.
It's been ridiculous.
Hey, Steve, I think your next episode should be Nicole and Rick talking about Creed and trying to find a common ground.
Oh dear goodness.
All right. Thank you guys all for joining this. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Congratulations to Al, our trivia champion.
And thank you to drizzly.com.
Who didn't see that coming? Al's like a knowledge sponge with music.
Congratulations, Al.
I'll take the next
Al
one.
knows everything about
Your congrats mean a lot to me.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you to all the viewers and listeners out there. Appreciate it. And check out the regular show.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Yes.
Take care.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Adios.